ankles in your hands.
I just hit start stream, so nobody say their social security number. Definitely don't say that.
Say someone else's social security number.
1, because I'm old. Get it?
Nice.
Good one.
Frank liked it.
I didn't like it. But
Oh.
polite. I did like it, actually. That's a lie.
Hey, don't be rude to your elders. Young man.
So let me get the stream chat up and open. Wait, I posted the right one, right? Okay, yeah, I'm streaming. And let me actually close the stream so that I don't hear myself. Presumably that's bad. Okay, well, I can't see stream chat yet, but I will in a bit. I guess I could show off while we're waiting for people to filter in for a few minutes here. Oh, I have to do it from the title screen. That's a little annoying. But I do. I can show off one of the 2 unlockable characters. Which is John, the character we already saw. And I'll see if I can remember how she plays. Do I have a save game with her? The answer is no. Okay, I'll just do a new game then. Sure, whatever. So yeah, you have to do a whole new game with her, which to me basically means I'm never gonna... Like, if I could swap her in and out in my Bayonetta saved game, then that'd be fine, but you need to start and you can't even... Well, I guess you... Oh no, you can start on the harder difficulties, I guess that's true, but you have to unlock everything all over again, which is less than ideal to me. Oh, it's gonna make me do the prologue. So this isn't gonna be great for showing it off, because you don't do anything in the prologue but see a bunch of crazy flashy shit. But, the TLDR of Jean is that she plays the same as Bayonetta, but, Oh yeah, this is actually worth seeing, never mind. It's very good. I forgot. Oh, are you guys watching, by the way?
It's trying to, but it's
trying to. Okay, I can wait for a sec.
Error, so I am watching on the stream though.
Okay.
I'm watching on the stream as well.
Fair enough.
I'm getting double Frank.
Anybody's favorite? Oh, it's just double Jean.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's kind of like in Beautiful Joe 1, where they let you play Sylvia, and it's just Sylvia and Sylvia in the cutscenes.
Yeah, like it's not even like, you know, oh, we're gonna disguise it. No, it's just like they did it deliberately because she's wearing her old like ancient costume. So if I remember everything about Jean, I believe she only gets witch time. She does not get witch time from doing normal dodges. She does get it from Bat Within, and she can get it from the parrying, but she can't do it from normal dodges. But her Wicked Weaves do twice as much damage and generate a bit more combo points. She gets hit harder. God, I can't remember the other things she gets. There's 2. Oh yeah, she can dodge infinitely. Bayonetta can only dodge 5 times, and then her 5th dodge will be this really awkward, long dodge that intentionally leaves you vulnerable. But Jean can dodge as many times as she feels like.
That's how cool she is.
She rolling around.
And she has the same moves, though. I don't think she gets... I'm forgetting, like, one minor thing. Oh, but she does get a whole unique set of weapons, which I'd have to, of course, play through the entire game with her to get. So I probably won't show those off. But each one of her weapons has its own description. And, like, they're the same weapons. But they look... They've all got their own unique designs because the character designers went overboard on this game.
Did they, though?
A little bit.
What do you mean? As she's running on rubble and jumping upside down.
Well, I guess since the whole game was basically, like, the original genesis of the game was Kamiya talking to a character designer, like, the character design was first and foremost in the game, so I guess that's why they go so all out on it, but, like, they put in tons of detail into her unique weapons, even though they're literally the same weapons. Some of them are just like, oh, it's purple now. But there's a few that, like, look totally different, and they each have different names, and they have different, different little storylines attached to them too, like the.
Rounding up the battle-weary witches with little resistance and subjugating those who
Although a lot of them are related, I can't remember some of them now, but I know
in the miracle.
that where Bayonetta gets, spoilers, a weapon named after one character from the Swan Lake. She gets her ice skates are named after a different character from Swan Lake, for instance.
Yeah. Also, the upside down head dragon. I forget his name. Was it Fortitudo? Whatever. Was he in the original cutscene?
Yes.
He was. Okay.
Yeah. No, you probably missed it. I don't know. I don't know how you could miss it actually.
It's the only weird thing going on in this cutscene right now.
I know, right?
But yeah, he is actually in the original cutscene, and
Okay.
yeah, you fight him too. I don't know if you noticed, but he's while you're on
yeah.
one of the clock faces, he swings his tail around for a bit, and you probably get hit by it because like it's a lot of things going on.
What do you mean? What things? List all of them now in alphabetical order.
Okay, well, there's the Angel 1, who comes at you and swings a big staff, and then there's Angel 2, who comes at you and swings a big staff, and there's Angel 3, who flies and then swings a staff at you, and then there's you, and you're probably hitting... No, I'll stop. This bit's gone on long.
No, keep going.
I think that probably is enough time for people who care about me to be here, so we're gonna keep going forward with...
You hear that? Any like stragglers you don't care about.
You don't care about me. Oops, let me open up my sheet of paper that told me where we were. Because I don't remember. Oh yeah, chapter 3. And I'll then explain those things. Wait. No.
Teenage
Logan.
Dream is helpfully saying Bayo, Bayo. So, just throwing that out there.
Thank you. Chai doesn't care about me, that's true, actually. Wait, so how come I'm on chapter 3 with this save? I don't understand that. I'll let it be. Did I show off the store? I could show that off too, just to give a couple extra minutes to people who want to, Oh, I did show off the store.
Just to give Chai a chance to care about you.
Yeah, basically just for that. There's a bunch of shit you can buy in the store, naturally. If you see the red circles, this is what happens if you go inside them. You can buy ults for your weapons, which allows you to put them on your hands and feet at the same time. They're not just like recolors, although they actually have a slightly different color. You can buy all the accessories, etc., all the health items that I will never use, and all your techniques, and a whole bunch of shit that I should probably show off. That's all cosmetics.
Well, it's okay if you don't use the health items, because I'll take that up for you. I used enough of them for you when I played.
I mean, it's not like I didn't die on my first several times through, and I will definitely die while streaming, because I'm very bad at playing and talking to other people.
Talking to fish is fine, though.
Yes. But, well, no, more like talking to myself at all times is something I cannot stop doing. Like, I
Alright,
talk...
Frank, you got this, buddy.
No, it's more derisive. I'm like, wow, good job, Frank. Nice one, dumbass.
Jesus, Frank. We're learning a lot today.
And then I whip myself. Was that...
Well, it's better than wetting other people's pants, I guess.
Oh, I said whip, but that's...
Oh.
Wow,
I thought you
that's...
said then you wet yourself like you're so scared of the game that you pissed your pants or something.
It is kind of a horror game for me because it stars a strong, powerful woman. So...
That is pretty scary.
We don't
scary.
need no man.
Yeah,
Also,
but...
it's a little bit Freudian slip revealing that poor Tex instantly thought you said wet yourself. And
Yeah.
to, you know, clarify. That's interesting. I'm just saying.
But yeah, no, it's not that I didn't. I mean, I died a lot. There, on my first... Even on my, like, revisit, I definitely died several times. And sometimes on some stages, like, just like a row of skeletons. But, like, I just don't use healing items, because... I don't know. I don't get into
Because
how
Kamiya doesn't like it.
Kamiya is like, I don't want to balance my difficulty, so I'm gonna let you use healing items and balance it yourself.
I'll let you use healing items and then get very mad at you when you do it. Wonderful 101 does that same business where you have tons of healing items, and then it's just like, I didn't put those there for you to use. Those are for the idiot players.
I mean, Devil May Cry does it. Beautiful Joe does it.
Yeah.
Even Okami does it. Really?
A little bit.
A little
not
bit.
As much though.
Not as well. It's not as hard, but
yeah, which was on purpose.
right. It's a
Okami
Zelda game.
specifically.
It's about for exploration, not fighting.
Well, his reason was because history shouldn't be difficult to learn.
Excuse me? You thought that was
Yeah,
a historical game?
Well, like the history, I guess, of the folklore and stuff, I suppose. Although
Oh yeah,
it is
no, it's true.
possible-
There's a lot of folklore spaced throughout it. So
Yeah. Or, though it is possible Kamiya literally thinks all that shit happened in Japan. It's hard to say.
You're in no position to decide that.
No, Kami's a good video game.
I infer
She's throwing rocks at Engeldargan.
love
Get out of here, Engeldargan.
to eliminate your kind. I figure your sacrifice would shut them up for a while.
see, I literally need to kill angels all the time for fun and because I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, it's not even. It's not something. It's not like a burden. She's just like, yeah, I wanna.
Like, beware if you take on these evil, these powers come with a cost. You must always be seeking out angels and kill. Okay, done. In. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you sure?
That was badass. Let's do it.
I'm gonna turn up the game just a little bit here because it's quiet for me compared to you guys. Okay.
Man, Steam streaming is still not like functioning at all. It's
Well,
bizarre as hell.
people complain about it a lot, and to be fair, I don't think they put upkeep on it very much. But I have to say, managing to put in a bunch of streaming through an overlay that goes on every game is genuinely impressive technologically.
That's true.
I dealt with having to put in very basic overlays that did way less in my last full-time job, and like, it's hard. Like, I have a lot of sympathy for Steam streaming not working that well. Oops. Oh, they're just gonna show up, huh?
That said, it's a still image with no sound.
Oh,
Try
well,
it once,
that's
too.
definitely not great. Oh, I should
Yeah.
probably equip the weapons I've introduced already. Oh, I guess that'd be ults. I'm gonna introduce a new weapon right now, actually, because it's convenient for me to do so. Odette, the ice skates. They are ice skates. Like, there's really not... There's a lot more to them, but I think I'm going to kill these dudes first before I show them off. And let me just put some pistols on my hands and feet. And there's a reason I'm using them for this area, but we'll get to that in a second.
Nice for Toast to post his own Fortitudo emote, Kappa Fortitudo.
I couldn't find an upside down head, so I just
That's
did
pretty good.
what I had.
That would be a good picture though. I need to do that sometime.
Oh, and this is a new enemy, is it? They're really annoying. They fly around and shoot tons of different types of projectiles at you. They're also the only enemy... They don't have like a... Usually when you do a torture attack, you get the weapon the angel is holding, but these guys don't have a weapon they're holding, so you just summon an infernal chainsaw and then you get to use it.
Yeah, then you just chop them down.
I was so happy when I first.
It's so
got this,
good.
When I kept the chainsaw, it was so great.
It's the
Also,
only
I love
weapon...
how, like,
Sorry, it's the only weapon that only shows up when you do a torture attack and never shows up otherwise.
yeah. No, I just love how the angels just act all like, I mean, generally like monsters, but there's also, I guess, some kind of weird regality to them, or like doing that, and then the moment you do a torture attack, they're just like, no, no.
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. No.
So, couple things to note. First, I'm just going to note this because I didn't note it before. This is the same area we were in the last chapter, but now it's on fire. This is probably the laziest chapter because it's half of it is the previous chapter, but on fire. But whatever. Also, I think blowing up the entire town for no reason was kind of a bold move by the enemy. But anyways, one of these two phones, I believe it is this one here. If you stand in front of it on this chapter or the previous one and input a long sequence of specific button codes, you can unlock things as a cheat code. You can basically put in cheat codes by, like, calling on the phone.
Good. the same
But it
answer from Banjo-Kazooie.
So it's like if you can't manage to unlock this thing, it's mostly for the things that require like a lot of effort to unlock, like the ones you get for beating the game on hard. You can unlock this way, but it costs like 1,000,000 halos for each cheat. So like you have to grind for hours and hours to get it anyway. So you'll never get it unless you use an exploit I'll show you later to get lots of halos. But
Yay!
and the other thing I want to show off in this area real quick. See this fucking trash can? Destroying it makes an Alfheim appear. I don't... for literally no reason. It just... It's like the worst. It's literally the worst secret in this game. There's this one random destroyable object that you have to backtrack up some stairs for. You'd never go up otherwise. I don't know, Kamiya. Remind you where Kami is in your Japanese auteur art chart. The chart of Japanese video game auteurs and how much they love ass. He's pretty low on it, which means he likes ass a lot. Because again, you like bottoms more, you go towards the bottom.
Really, no one's ever gonna beat Miyamoto and Iwata, though, obviously.
No, obviously not. Oh, we haven't done one of these yet, have we? So this is excuse me, I'm trying to explain. So these are... There's a series of these missions where you have to stay in the air for a set amount for 30 seconds. I think always 30? And so you obviously can't just double jump. You can kind of keep up there for a while by doing stuff like this. And just sort of comboing. Oh wow, he hit me out of it. But you're not going to stay up the whole 30 seconds by just comboing, so you have to... you basically have to do enemy steps, like in Devil May Cry, where you jump off people. And there's some really cool solutions. Some of these are kind of like cool puzzles that people figure out like specific combos to do. Like I've seen people who go like punch, punch, kick, punch to do a launcher, and then they like go down really fast and jump off the person who's been launched, and then they go back up. And then they do it again, and like it's a really cool thing, but I don't really enjoy doing it, so I always just cheese them with the whip. Wow, rude. And then I failed to cheese it with the whip, of course.
If I remember right, if you put on the Samus costume, I think she'll do like a screw attack when you're jumping up, and I think it actually hurts enemies. So I can't remember, that might help with this. I don't remember. I remember the Link costume was extremely good though. You can parry stuff. The Master Sword and the Shield and stuff.
Oh yeah, and I forgot with the whip you can Sonic Boom, you can Knuckles in Sonic Boom it up all the...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, instantly.
When are you gonna play that game for us?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'll
You
do
know,
it.
a lot of people don't realize it, but Sonic Boom is kind of like the next evolution of stylish action games.
You know, that's the one genre I think they should put Sonic in. just once. Oh yeah, speaking of the
Sorry, I introduced the whip already, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna introduce the ice skates relatively quick. There's not tons to them, but they're very good. They hit very, very fast. They're the fastest weapon you can put on your feet. And they've got pretty good swing range here. But they do less damage, especially their Wicked Weaves do less damage. Let's see, let me put that with the, to show it off a little better. They obviously have an ice effect, and their charge modifier is when you hold the button, you do a bunch of kicks. And that works for any attack. And if you hit someone with enough attacks, they will freeze into a big ice cube, which we'll see later, and you can go up and hit X to lift up the ice cube, and then throw it, like how you can throw cars. They've only got, most weapons from this point will have a couple unique moves, along with just all the moves that they share with everything else. In this case, the unique move for the ice skates is that they have this 4-hit combo if you hit kick, 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 which is very fast, instead of the usual 3-hit kick combo, which is like very slow. And a unique thing about it is that you can go into it from a lot of... No, you can't do it from that. Is it punch, punch, punch? You keep watching my broadcast.
I guess now that I'm on the page, it's starting and stopping. I'm getting out of this broadcast. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I just think it's not gonna work. You'll have to watch on stream, sorry.
I gave up long ago, so.
I just left it on that page. I guess it just was starting and stopping, trying to do it. Whatever.
Oh, did you? Oh, so it wasn't you. I was like, she's really persistent. Like, there's a couple different moves that you can go into the 4-hit combo from, which for some reason I'm forgetting, even though I do them all the time while I'm actually playing. But like, trying to show it off, I of course have forgotten. Oh, and if you hold kick on the fourth of the combo, then you'll get a Wicked Weave off it too. And the bullet climax is if you spin in place, you will actually spin in place, and if you hit kick during that, you'll do a pretty wide-ranging attack, which hits a lot, which is really good for freezing people because it hits so many times. But
Also,
is not that useful overall. Yes.
So, no, I just noticed is Madame Butterfly were her feet on the Wicked Weave like white with like a ice skate on them? It almost looked like.
Yeah, it's still got the heel. But it is white. The Wicked Weaves do change some. Every weapon from this point will also change the Wicked Weave in some way. Although it's usually just color. There's a few that do a couple other things. Like the whip has the swipe, which makes the Wicked Weave do a chop, which it doesn't do with any other weapon.
Cool.
And also the obvious change, of course, with this weapon is also that you go very fast while skating, and additionally, having the ice skates on means you don't take damage from fire on the ground.
No, I didn't know that part.
Yep,
Huh.
It does have a badass tutu also, which is really good.
Yes, and
I did like that.
yeah, that's one of the Umbran Elegance, which is in items. There's 5, one for each one of them corresponding to a weapon. So yeah, when you have the oh, I have the ice skates on them both. That's not gonna work. So when you put it on, you get the ballerina tutu. I'll talk about dodge offsetting next. So anyways, yes. That's everything I have to cover for this bit. Oh, you know how when we went down this tunnel before, there was like a big fiery thing? Well, there's a big thing we had to run away from. Well, now there's another big thing we have to run away from.
The thing is, I can see why they did it this way, because like, new company, new big IP, they gotta save money somehow. So it's just like, let's just reuse stages and run away from stuff. They did the same thing in Beautiful Joe also. The 5th level's the 2nd level with the night theme on it.
I mean, yeah, I definitely get the idea that, you know, it is just kind of reuse and laziness, but I liked it because it kind of set the stage for it felt like it set the stage for the game, and that like, oh, Vigrid is this nice and well-to-do, and you know, this ancient town, it looks all beautiful and regal and etc. And then it's like, yeah, that's not gonna be how this game is gonna go. Shit's gonna get fucked up. So here's the whole town on fire.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
favorite angles. These are my favorite ones. They got big body mouth.
They were pretty good. They were very good.
Yeah, I like these guys a lot. They're fun to fight, mostly. Oh, here we go. Big ice cube.
I like that their whole head is just.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys, we didn't really get to see much of them, but they do have a projectile attack, which is not terribly good, but they have it. Mostly they really like lunging at you a lot. They have armor on their head that will deflect attacks sometimes if you hit them from the front. So if you can avoid it, you want to hit them from the sides until you break the armor off by doing a lot of damage. And what else? Oh yes, if you're in the... An important thing is to be very careful when you're in the air against those guys, because they have... like, if the game sees you in the air anywhere near them, it's like, aha! Because they have this big anti-air lunge attack, so they really want you to stay on the ground. So you have to be very careful, and if you jump, you need to be ready to dodge. Is there an Alfheim? Here's an Alfheim up here. But yeah, I don't necessarily mind, like... I think it's smart to reuse assets and stuff. And it like helps set the pace of a game and like the setting of a game and really ground it in a place. Because we returned to parts of Vigrid several times. But at the same time, something about this level I don't care for. I don't know, it goes on a little long, I don't like its gimmick.
Fair enough.
It might just be the later parts are also not that fun to me, honestly. They're cool the first time, but like going through them again, you tend to get pinged by random shit. Anyways, here's one of the easier Alfheims, is they give you an infinite supply of these 3 angel weapons. And you can only do damage with angel weapons. The only real hard thing is trying to keep your combo up, which I'm not really trying that hard to do right now, but I should be. The thing about angel weapons is that they tend not to have a very big... They tend to ruin your combo, basically, because they don't give many points. So if you're going for max combo points, you generally don't want to use them. Although since you don't usually have them for very long, it's usually fine as long as you're getting combos otherwise. Oh, he didn't interrupt me. He was about to. But yeah, I always kind of like these ones, because you just sort of get to use these super-powered weapons that you otherwise are very limited in use. But you just sort of get to wail on dudes with them, which is fun.
Always good. And then their angle meat flies off. Which I like.
Do I have it still? There we go.
I always saw it as they were like, they had like a coating of like marble on them, and then you knock it off and then it's meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see it as sort of like, you know, there's this artifice on top of them of like this golden marbled stuff. I always saw it as marble.
Yeah, same here. Especially since they go with the whole statue aesthetic with so much of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Implies
do
they're
like
kinda
that they
messed
just
up.
have neat. Yeah.
Curious what happens third game. Whenever they finally get done with that.
Oh, you're not dead yet.
You know, this is way too serious of a property for a game this goofy, but I just remembered, well, no, I just remembered that, like, this Berserker made me think of it. Some of the angels kind of remind me of, like, the Titans from Attack on Titan, in that it's, like, this, like, unassuming normal face or thing on it, but it's also this giant-ass monster.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, just a little bit of that, hint of that.
That was Attack on Titan. The Titans are gross, weird looking.
Yeah.
They run funny too, which I like.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah, no,
sorry, this was what I meant earlier by having only 5 dodges. The 5th dodge makes you do that, and you can't cancel
I
out of it anyway. Which is relevant for, well, I guess I could just talk about dodge offset right now. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about canceling and dodge offset, and then I think I'll be done with all of the mechanics.
Finally have the talk.
Finally. It's fine to have the talk. This is sort of the basic, well, the advanced mechanic of the game. Well, first I'll just talk about canceling. Let's see, what's a good move to do this with? Probably this. So, let's say this move right here. I want to do it because I want to hit everyone around me, this big circle whip move. But it also leaves me really vulnerable because it takes a very long time to do. So I can cancel it by dodging out of it. You can cancel most things by dodging out of them, and the ones you can't, you can usually cancel by jumping out of them. So that's pretty important. You'll see me do it a lot. Like, you'll see me do, this move where I summon a Wicked Weave. I tend to combine it with a dodge. Almost, like, a lot of time, almost every time I dodge, I'll just be doing that move. And it's a way to just, like, I'm gonna be dodging anyway, but, like, right before I dodge in front of an enemy, I'll be putting left, right, left, well, I can't do it slow, I guess, but left, right, punch makes that happen. So left, right, punch, and then dodge makes me summon the Wicked Weave and dodge at the same time. And then I can also do things like cancel this with a jump so that I can do 3 in a row.
Some wave dash shit going on here.
Pretty much. There's a lot of fun things you can do by canceling out with that. Those are the ones I use it most often for, is canceling out of those instant Wicked Weave moves. Or a move that I did and I don't want to do anymore, like when I just did that a second ago. But now I'll talk about dodge offset. So let's say I want to do punch, 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 kick, kick, kick combo. A pretty long combo. But an enemy wants to attack me, right? So the thing I do... Like, after I do the first kick, let's say an enemy's about to attack me from the side, and I'm like, oh no, I want to continue this combo. So what you do is, you continue to hold down the kick button, and then you dodge. Wow, I'm doing it slow, makes it not work. If you hold down the kick button, or the punch button, whatever the last attack of the combo is, and then you dodge, you can continue the combo after the dodge. Which is like... Since Bayonetta is so much about these longer combo strings, it's very vital that you learn to do that, even just to get through hard. It's kind of an important skill, I think, unless you want to play really lame. And you can tell you're doing it right because you'll continue to be in the charge modifier pose. Or you'll notice that while I'm dodging, I'm shooting bullets everywhere like a crazy person. Ordinarily, you don't do that. But because I'm...
Ordinarily, you don't shoot them like a crazy.
Well, you do shoot them everywhere, but not while dodging. But since I'm holding the button, it's basically saying you are in dodge offset mode. You're holding a combo right now. And then you can just go right into the last hit of the combo. So it's sort of a really elegant combining of the... Like, the mechanic where you already hold a button to do something with various weapons. Like, every weapon has something you hold to do. And so you combine that holding with, you combine that holding along with the dodge mechanic of the game, and they work together to make this really cool... It sounds pretty complicated, but it's actually very simple. But just learning to do it consistently and all the little tricks you can do with it now. Like, for instance, let's say I want to get a Wicked Reeve really quick. I can't say it. So the fastest way to do a Wicked Weave is punch, kick, punch. But let's say I want to do... that I don't have time for that. Well, I can hit punch dodge, kick dodge, and then hit punch and immediately do the wave. Or if I want to do punch, punch, kick, and then this thing that... this string that has 2 kicks in it, 2 Wicked Weave kicks, I can do punch, punch, kick, and I can basically eat the punch, punch, kick of it by holding the button while dodging. And just skip ahead to the next attack. So you can just get to whatever part of the combo you want really fast, too. Or skip out a part that's not going to work in some way. Or just, you know, do it for cool combo purposes or what have you. Or you can even hold it... Let's see, I never do this. Wait. I actually never do this because it's kind of cheating. It's kind of cheesy to do, but you can store it in No, how do you do this? I literally never do this anymore. But a very good... Like, generally, an intermediate player can choose the game by holding the dodge offset while you go into Panther mode. And you can just sort of store a... How do you do it? I literally don't remember what button you have to hit. It's been so long. There we go. You can store it while you go into Panther mode and just come out and unleash a Wicked Weave right away. So a lot of people will just sort of, like, start a combo, get to the Wicked Weave part, and then go into Panther mode, and then run at the enemy, do a Wicked Weave, and run away again. Which will beat the game, but won't get you a very good combo score.
Which really is worse than not beating the game.
It is, actually. It's worse than death itself. And again, this shares Kamiya's idea of, like, that you saw in Devil May Cry 1, where there's a lot of, like, relatively serious, like, examine the environment text. Like, I don't know why Bayonetta would sit here and think about how the other side is nothing but a sea of flames. Like, that's not very Bayonetta. There's also an invisible wall that makes you not able to go over there.
Maybe it's Kamiya saying it.
It might be.
The other side is a sea of flames. Blocked.
Oh yeah, and a fun thing, another fun thing about the Nintendo costumes is that, when they first showed the concept art for the Link costume for Bayonetta, she originally had like a shirt on under the tunic, because that's what Link normally has, Twilight Princess clothes and such.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo actually sent it back saying, well, I mean, yeah, that's what Link looks like, but Bayonetta wouldn't wear something. She'd have her tits hanging out, I think. She probably had her tits hanging out. And so they redesigned it to make it so her tits are hanging out. When asked, you know, why aren't there Sega costumes? That would be pretty neat. Put her in Sega costumes. Kamiya said, we asked Sega about it, and they actually said we couldn't do it. So, Nintendo not only allowed for Bayonetta to dress up as, you know, sexy Peach, they even like sent back notes saying, she should probably be more naked. We don't want to make her out of character to put too much clothes on. That would have been so. She could have dressed up as like a taxi, like a crazy taxi. That would have been great.
You're supposed to. Sorry, I just want to say this. You're supposed to do. Oh wait, there's still a guy. Wow, he went to the other side. I've never seen that. Holy shit! How did he get over there? That's amazing.
He's scared. He's trying to get out of there.
Well, now he's over there, and I can't hit him, and I can't get over to him. So you look stupid, guy. I can't even Wicked Weave him unless he gets really close. This is very goofy. Oh, he's teleporting back. Thank you. That area is a very wonky area. I've seen some weird shit happen there because it's so small. Anyways, you're supposed to do a bunch of lava platforming, but since you can sort of fuck with the gravity here a bit, I'm gonna see if I can manage this. I've done it before. Whee! Oh, well.
Good.
Oh, I don't know where I am. Oh god! It kind of worked. Well, that sort of worked. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Also, I guess on Reference Watch, she said, like, dancing a go-go baby when she rode on the enemy. And it was also kind of a thing that Dante does in Devil May Cry 3 and 4, where he rides on enemies, so.
They really need to have him just do the ultimate, like, Bayonetta Capcom crossover, which is just him crossing over all of his games simultaneously. Like, he very much wants to do it.
He's super, like, it's super clear that he has set this game in the Devil May Cry universe. Like, he's not pretending not to have done that.
Yeah. He brought it up on Twitter when someone asked him about Project X Zone, why Bayonetta wasn't in Project X Zone. He said, they did ask me, but I wanted to be the one who writes the first game where Bayonetta and Dante meet. Which is, I don't know if there's enough money in the world to actually make the video game he's thinking of, but it would be nice. Frank and I's concept of what such a game would be like is that, like, at minimum, the first, like, half
There's
of
the
the
anti-air.
game is just the opening fight of Bayonetta and Dante fighting each other before they even ask each other's names. So.
I mean, I think that is how you ask each other's names. He's like, this is
that is-
clearly badass, we fight.
Yeah, but like, since it's Bayonetta and Dante, like, could Kamiya, like, how long would that fight be before Kamiya would be satisfied with it? Would they fight for like 8 straight days, or like?
Yeah. I never use pistols. How do you use these weapons? They do so little damage. Oh yeah, that's the other unique thing about this. This guy can stun you with sort of a huge area of effect that's pretty hard to dodge. And you can mash out of it, or you could just have to bat within if he hits you. And also, when he does his charging attack, he can run into a wall and be stunned for a very long time. So you want to make him do that. But yeah, I mean, if Dante and Bayonetta meet, like... I think they just never stop trying to hit each other, constantly.
I still maintain that the ending would be then they finally ask each other's names at the very end of the game.
I love the logic of that bit. That section, that little cutscene there, is so fucking crazy that I didn't get in until a second playthrough what was actually happening. I didn't get that she was just deciding to slow down time, and then she shot a bunch of bullets, which were not in slow time, so they all built up to like a critical mass of bullets. And then all of the bullets hit the lava at once and cleared a path for her.
Which is what you do.
I mean, I guess if you're Bayonetta, you do.
Yeah, if you're Bayonetta. And we all are.
Jeez. I usually just do this fight further down the hall, but I'm trying to do it here in this cramped area. It's not working out for me, though.
He'll be fine.
I guess I shouldn't have lost all that health in the fire corridor, huh? Oh well.
Nah. You're keeping things exciting.
It's true. Oh, a fun thing about this game, you'll notice right now it doesn't say verse in the upper right corner. That means that any time I take and any damage I take don't count towards my ranking at all. Which I think is a really good improvement. Because like previously, like, basically if it was your first or second time through, going for rank was bad because it means you weren't exploring for things. You, like, basically if you were exploring for things and trying to find secrets or figuring out where to go, like, you got a bad ranking. Because your time would be bad, and you probably take extra damage from, like, the environmental stuff. But in this game, it's like, I could go sit in that fire now for a while and it wouldn't hurt my ranking. Unless I die, of course. We don't usually fight these guys until way later. Oh yeah, there's a shadow here for the thing that's not... This statue... It took me a long time to notice, but this little, like, architecture here disappears during that fight. I'm assuming because it gets in the way.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So, but the shadow is still there. I didn't even notice for a long time. Anyways, there's something really cool and a magical... Oh shoot, did I screw up? I did. I forgot.
Oh.
I don't know if I can make this. No, it's not even gonna let me try, is it? Okay, it is. Good. Once the bridge collapses, you can go back this way. Although... Okay, good. Wait, where's the Alfheim? Have I missed it? Huh. Looks like I did. Well...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I guess I missed an Alfheim. Sorry. It's been a while since I've done this level. Well, there would be an Alfheim here. And it would be... I believe it's right here. I literally haven't played this level in like 2 months, so... Yeah, once the bridge collapses, but I guess before you do that fight? Or maybe it's when I come back from where we're going now. Whoosh.
Well, it's easy to guess where it is since these are always so logical when the Alfheim show up. Also, I know we haven't pointed out yet, but I do always love how in Bayonetta, when she's near death, the demon grabby hands.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every time I'd almost die, I'd just be like, oh no, grabby hands! Get out of here!
Yeah.
Don't you get me?
So Frank, when that arch disappeared, but you could still see the shadow, would you say that the shadow remained cast?
Extremely good. I knew you were going for it halfway through that joke, but I'm still happy you did.
I had to build back up to it because I missed my window.
You did. Oh, I've already screwed up on this one. Your joke made me lose. The TLDR of this fight is witch time doesn't work, and you need to kill these dudes quickly or they combine into a super dude. In fact, I guess I can just go ahead and introduce these guys now. When 3 of them get together, they'll do some sort of crazy-ass, like, Power Rangers pose. And then, they'll combine into one big dude, which is undesirable for several reasons, not the least of which being that they'll heal all damage done to them when they go into big form. But they're not too tricky. They're kind of tricky. They have... Honestly, I find the little guys almost more of a pain to deal with. At least when there's multiples of them. They have a couple pretty dangerous moves where they'll reach behind you and grab you, but mostly they just have big swings. But the little guys all doing these gigantic swings means sometimes you can't get near them at all. Anyways, we're in Paradiso right now. We make brief jaunts to it. I guess I could have said what the Alfheims have a lore to them, which is explained in Antonio's notes, which we'll do at some point in the future. Probably in a pre-stream bit. Oh yeah, you can walk on water in slow-mo, which is an important mechanic for later. And, is there still something behind here? Or is that gone now? In one of the difficulties, there's something hidden behind here. But yeah, the Alfheims are also like little secreted away bits of Paradiso that the angels have hid important artifacts in, by which they mean power-up objects that make you more powerful.
That's where they hide their power-ups. That's in the Bible. Toast can confirm. That's in the Bible.
Yeah.
It is. So here's a new puzzle mechanic. It's an hourglass that will... They'll definitely make full use of this puzzle mechanic throughout the game. It's definitely a very thoroughly explored concept and not just something that shows up a couple times for no reason.
It doesn't make it pretty, though.
It is a cool thing, honestly. It's just really weird that they give you, like, this reverses time, and, like, I think it shows up twice. Like... And you run all goofy while you're holding it.
Really, that's what I'm in it for. That's how you motivate me to do your puzzle. Is it makes someone do dumb walking.
And you literally can't use this anywhere incorrectly. It will always repair this bridge, so you can't waste it. Well, now that we've reversed time so that bridge is just before it was when it collapsed, we're gonna go back here. Oh, this bridge is back again. Okay. So that's how that works, I guess. You need to repair the bridge and then this Alfheim appears. I don't know.
Look, you don't know how heaven magic works.
Ah, okay, here's a good one. So this... And this one, we can only do damage with Wicked Weaves. Now, there's 2 things that are helping me here. One is that the Moon Pearl plus the Eternal Testimony gives me 4 recharging magic orbs, so I can do the... I can summon a Wicked Weave instantly as long as I have 3. So that's the way to cheese it. But you can also do that thing I was talking about earlier about dodge offset. And then I fail to do it. It's really hard to talk about it and do it.
Toast, start talking.
Toast, please start talking.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I can show this off too. This is real dumb. If you hit them, one thing I really hate about almost all the Alfheims that have like you can only hit while you're doing X, is if you do manage to hit them, you'll ricochet off, which leaves you vulnerable. Which is dumb, because this game is designed to be as generous as possible about hitting people, because they want to make it easy to hit people without lock-on. So, like, you'll automatically target... When you're trying to just do a move that doesn't actually physically hit somebody and just does, like, the ranged part, you'll lock onto them anyway, and then you'll do the... You'll automatically target them and hit them and ricochet off, and then they'll hit you while you're vulnerable. And it's very frustrating, and I don't know why they did that. I also always lose track of my... This is the only time I ever really do more than a few dodges in a row, so I always lose track of how many dodges I have left just for these challenges. And if you don't know how to dodge offset, then this challenge is fucking, like... It's not impossible, but it's such a pain, and it takes, like, a literal hour.
Can't confirm.
Like, you pretty much just have to keep running away and then doing the... Like, doing a long string again and again. I honestly thought this challenge, like, was just designed to take... I don't know, a million hours. I knew you could use the Moon Pearl, in fairness. But that means you have to do it perfectly from a previous level. Oh, there's the other type of doggy here, which is the lightning doggy, which is the upgraded fire doggy. They're pretty much the fire dog, but they've got a tail that can do a bunch of scary attacks. It can hit... Sometimes they'll raise their tail, and then their tail can hit at any time if you don't hit them out of it. They also have more health. And instead of a fireball, they have a laser beam that you can't get witch time off of. And in general, you just get less witch time from dodging their attacks. In fact, every enemy gives you a different amount of witch time from dodging their attacks, but the lightning dogs in particular don't give you very much. Oops, again. Run out of dodges. There we go.
But yeah, the section about angels hiding their power-ups in little locations like this, I think, is in First Kamiya Influence. Or it might be in Song of Suda. I forget.
Oh shoot! Very inconvenient for me for you to do that, sir. I was right in the middle of doing a cool move and everything.
Frank always addressed Griffins as Sir.
Well, it's
Just
polite.
respectful. Right before he punches him in the meat face and explodes him.
Breakdancing.
This is a celebratory breakdance.
Interesting you would say that. Someone in Ven says in the chat that lightning is an upgrade to fire, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender mechanics. Interesting you should say that. This company made a Korra, Legend of Korra game.
They did.
Yes, and it has very similar mechanics, apparently.
I also heard it was bad.
I heard it was, like, fine if you liked the show, but, like, not...
Oh, okay.
But, like, not great. Oh, hey, here's the easiest to miss verse in the game. If you just keep walking forward, you'll walk out of this verse, and you won't necessarily see these enemies at all. And even if you see them later, if you walk too far forward, you won't... You can walk outside of verses in this game, basically, and if you do, then you don't get credit for them, even if you go back and kill the enemies that were in the verse. Which is, like, so cool.
No, you had your chance.
Well, every once in a while, something will happen where, like, an enemy will get hit outside the verse, and I will follow them, and then, like, there's no line that says I've left the verse, but they'll just, like, vanish. And you're like, where'd they go? And then you walk back, and they reappear, and you kill them, but you don't get credit at the end of the level. It's so bullshit. It's very Kamiya bullshit, too.
No, didn't you know you had to stay in this one area?
You can't only parry if you're attacked, actually. You can also bat within if you get hit. But you just can't dodge. I'm trying to do this part without Panther Within, because if you... There's a lot of things in this game where if you Panther Within, you can just break the scripting entirely, and it's not interesting, so I'm trying to remember to just normally walk. But I am not used to it.
He wrote on the palm of his hand, "Don't become Kitty."
It's hard. I think I'm going to do it for this bit, and then I'm probably going to run face first into a boulder, but who cares? Like, I think this part's pretty hard without Panther Within, but I don't know. I don't remember. Whoa, thank you, camera. There's a little thing back there. I'm not grabbing where assume if I'm opening a chest, it's where, like, a power-up was. I'm not grabbing all of them because I don't remember all of them, but I remember some of them, so I'll grab them just for shits and giggles. They're not usually very far out of the way. Where do we fight a boss? Oh, I know, just in a coliseum. How many times have you seen have you even seen a coliseum in real life? I would say maybe
Yesterday.
I should have been a pole dancer.
one. Really? Do you live in do you live in a stylish action game, Portex? If you do, you have to tell me.
I do.
Sick.
That's the only problem is I'm not really good at them, so shit's just kind of exploding all around me, and I can't really do anything about it.
I mean, like, most of the people, like, all of the NPCs in a stylish action world just must be like, God, I really should not have been an accountant. Like, I made the wrong choice.
But what about stylish action game where you are an accountant? Where's that game at?
Also, as an example of how weird the ranking system can be sometimes, you'll notice I had a sliver of health. I got a platinum ranking. Like, it's because it averages out everything, so this game can be so punishing that, like, but the overall ranking system helps remove some of that punishingness in a weird way. Because, like, even though, like, you screw up once and you take half your life bar, like, it doesn't matter to your final ranking as long as you don't die.
See? Easy. Easy peasy every time.
I plan to show off Kilgore on hands and feet for a boss fight at some point. Person in chat whose name I can't quite read because I'm bad. Bare Knuckle Roo. I do plan to show that off, but I'm gonna not.
Bare Knuckle Roo.
It's a way of
So it's
she's.
like
Like Bare Knuckle from Streets of Rage. Bare Knuckle. Hell yeah, I love Roo and Bare Knuckle. Although I don't call it Bare Knuckle because I'm not Japanese, but I appreciate that. Bare Knuckle is also Streets of Rage, and there's a character named Roo who's a kangaroo, which makes him the best character.
Yeah. Was it called Bare Knuckle in Europe, I wonder?
It was Bare Knuckle in Japan, and maybe I don't remember. Maid would
they
know
had
if
it
it was Bare Knuckle in Europe, maybe.
They had it all different there, what with their mega drives and such.
Give me a sec here. Am I gonna introduce that? No, I don't think I will. I'll introduce the sword next.
By the way, I need to step away for just a real quick second. I will be right back.
Should I wait for you?
I mean, it'll just be a minute.
Okay,
I just need to grab a drink.
fair enough. I could just
He's
drink
gonna
myself,
go do
but I
stylish
have one.
action fighting.
He backflips out of his chair and
Yeah, I'm gonna dodge cancel into some iced tea. Just one sec.
it's like, this tea isn't iced enough, so then he spins it really, really fast so it cools down.
Yeah, and he grabs it and starts breakdancing at fantastic speed. As Toast is known for doing.
That's always Toast.
It's always Toast.
You know what I tell people? And I'm like, hey, you want to pick Toast out of a crowd? Just look for the dude who's breakdancing down the street. That's Toast.
Just all the time. Who's breakdancing and making tea simultaneously. That's like a fucking Persona character or something, I don't know.
Can I?
Did that new Streets of Rage come out? Or is that
No,
coming
they just literally today released new screens from it and a little bit of animation.
out? Oh, did they?
I'm very iffy on what that looks like. I'm gonna be honest. Like, visually, it looks really cool in a lot of ways, but there's something about the way it is animated that lacks something that it should have. Like, I don't think they quite know how to animate a game where you hit people, if that makes sense.
I'm back, by the way, and
The hit
we're talking
stun
about
doesn't-
Streets of Rage 4.
We are, and to be fair, literally, I think all I've seen of it was the initial trailer, which was definitely a work in progress, and I think They released like 5 screens and like a 3-second animated GIF today, but like, I don't know. Maybe I mean, I am very picky, and Streets of Rage is very close to my heart. But like, man, it doesn't quite look right when you hit someone in that game, and it's a game where you hit people. That's the whole thing.
I am impressed how Blaze hasn't aged in all these years, though.
Yes.
That was
I like how.
nicer.
What's the main dude's name? Axel, isn't it? Axel is all like old man beard looking, but yeah, Blaze just looks. She still looks like hot lady, hot 19-year-old lady or whatever. Just like
She's
Alright.
she's a vampire. She's cursed to be forever be 19. It's gonna be a reveal.
I mean, you could have done so much with that. Like, what if you like age her up a bit and she's like this kick-ass cougar who's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking beat up the streets in my spare time when I'm not hunting down younger men. I don't care.
Please don't talk over this very important exposition.
Some important things happening.
You again. And here I thought I'd seen the last of you.
Oh, is this where the line is? Oh, maybe not yet. I love how this dude is so formal and nice to her. He's just like, there's no need to be rude. And then she's rude anyway. He's like, well.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I'm
you'll be
scared of that thing.
more
I'm scared of
hospitable
Fortitudo.
to me this
It's
time.
probably the creepiest of all of them, but also the cutest, oddly enough.
Yeah, it's got little dark heads.
It's one of my faves.
It's also well, not Fortitudo specifically, but it's also something that kind of comes back in Wonderful 101. Camilla really likes bitey mouth, multi-headed dragons, apparently.
Here it is. Right?
I'm sorry.
Ah!
I forgot to mention
my
one of the
favorite
reasons
line.
I hunt your kind. You're much too ugly.
Maybe she doesn't say it
not
till the
to
end.
Put out of your misery.
He's like, nice one, Bayonetta. That's a pretty good comeback. Fortitudo's so nice.
Flock off, Featherface.
There it is. Yay! Kamiya liked the line "flock off Featherface" so much he brought it back from Devil May Cry 1.
He's just like, it's such a good line, though.
So, you'll notice that Bayonetta let her hair down, literally. Excuse me, I'm trying to explain something. It's fine, I can show off this cool little animation. So, for bosses, she lets her hair down. And, that means she goes into super mode, where every attack produces a Wicked Weave. Or almost every attack. There's a few weapons that don't, but basically every attack produces a Wicked Weave, which really changes how some weapons work. Faster weapons are better. Ice Skates are actually really bad because their Wicked Weaves do very little damage, so like having a lot of them doesn't really make things better. And the whip actually gets ridiculously good. Because it hits multiple times as it chops across them, and now it chops every time.
See, I didn't get that specifically. I noticed that I was doing these wicked weaves and throwing big old claws around.
I actually didn't
it's
either at first, because it was just sort of
phosphorus.
like, you're just throwing shit out there. The ice skates do look funny if you do the, like, charge modifier where you hit repeatedly. Because, here, I'll see if I can do it. You just sort of throw the... like, you're just sort of spawning the kicks everywhere. There's just so many kicks.
Dijon Toujours says, fuck, marry, kill, blue dragon head, red dragon head, weird middle.
Marry Blue
yeah.
Dragon Head, fuck Red Dragon Head, kill Scary Upside Down Face. Definitely. Now King Barm Schmarfit. Man, only if Chai's not here, and she'll appreciate that in the VOD. That's for you, Chai. You're welcome.
Future Chai.
Can I just say yes to all three? All three options for all of them.
Oh no, grabbing hands. Ah, pull it.
I was breakdancing and he hit me. Fine.
Okay, I deserve that one.
Fair enough. So there's two ways you can fight this fight. You can fight it on the ground or on the platform. It's generally best to fight it on the platform and then, because you can daze him while you're on the platform and then go down and do the, if you hit him enough, you'll daze him. And it's pretty easy to do that, especially with reflective fireballs like that. And then you can wail on him a little bit on the ground and then do this little QTE and then fight him on the ground. Fighting him on the ground, you have to be careful because he'll set the whole ground on fire, but you don't actually have to be careful if you just wear the ice skates. Because then you don't take damage from the ground.
I do like that the hourglass mechanic thing came back for this fight. Like they actually used it for that.
Shogun goes, oh no, my husband! Can't blame the heads up.
And then he flies up there, and he makes a whole bunch of eruptions happen from the ground. And of course, the best way to dodge eruptions is to breakdance.
As you do. In Bayonetta universe.
How did I mix up the dragon faces? I think the more you mash here, the more damage you do, but I'm not actually sure. But I just mash real hard on it. Because it's fun. Because there's... It's definitely what he wants me to do. I'll be revisiting this fight later with a cheese strat, if I remember. Because you can do some very funny stuff, as the person in the chat said. Anyways, he gets so mad he blows up the whole Coliseum. As you do.
As you do. I mean, you can't just fight in a Coliseum and not blow it up.
Oh no, the lollipop! I like how that's the most serious she looks in this whole scene.
It's the biggest concern she has.
Hey, you know what else I like? This boss looks a lot like a Devil May Cry 4 boss, only good. This isn't necessarily... It's probably the next boss fight that exemplifies this more. I always try to parry those, it never works. But, it's really clear to me that Kamiya played the Savior boss fight from Devil May Cry 4. And went, this is theoretically very cool, but actually very lame. And I can totally do that better. And then made every single one of his boss fights the Savior boss fight. Savior boss fight, still the most confusing boss fight I've ever played. I still don't know what makes it go from phase to phase.
You should look up a run of it and see if there's like any sort of detailed breakdown. Or if maybe even they don't know.
Like, I watched a speed run, but it wasn't... Oops, I just paused. It wasn't clear to me what was happening anymore. Hey, it's Griffin! Sort of. It's kind of Griffin.
It's kind of Griffin.
It's not really Griffin.
It's his cousin.
It's his cousin, Peter
Alrighty.
Griffin.
Oh, great.
Whatever joke you were gonna make, mine was worse.
I was actually not gonna make a joke. I was trying to remember which demon its name. I think this is Malthus. I think that was Malthus.
30 under 30 Corvid Luminary Griffin. I like it.
You know, you're not nearly so ugly when you're screaming.
I do like how they make it clear that the angels... None of the angels die in this game, I believe is the lore. I know it looks like you're killing them, but you're actually banishing them to hell.
Explain yourself.
Or back to Paradiso, I forget which.
I thought it was hell that the demons are like eating him or something.
Yeah, the bosses definitely get sacrificed to the demons and get taken to hell. But I think maybe the normal angels, in one of the notes, it talks about It might just talk about how they're just getting forced back to Paradiso? I can't remember for sure. It might just be something I made up. It's been a long time since I read the notes.
Also, poor Fortitudo, he's talking with a big hole in his face. Like, he wasn't even, like, mean to her or anything, he just had to fight her. She's just like, yeah, I tortured him for all eternity. That's what he gets.
She's just really... Like, Bayonetta is really not a... Well, I mean, I guess it depends on your point of view, but she doesn't seem like a good person, I think.
She's not a very nice person.
We haven't gotten there yet, but there's a part of this game where she absolutely murders tons of Vigridian citizens. Like, 100% she kills them. Like... Seems bad.
Well, I guess that's another tie to the actual Griffin from Devil May Cry, who's like also not particularly like mean to Dante, but Dante's still like super stoked to just fucking kill the hell out.
Well, like, yeah, because Griffin doesn't even want to fight. If you remember, he's just bound, and the same way that the other, all of them are just like bound by oh my god, I've forgotten his name. The big bad of Devil May Cry, whatever that guy's name is.
Mundus.
Thank you. All of them are just bound to Mundus's will. And he's actually like, I really don't want to do this. Whereas Phantom's like, I really want to do this. Let's fucking go, Dante. Let's see, do I have anything written here? Like, introduce a fun weapon? Yes. I think I will do that. I'm gonna introduce... I don't know if it's my favorite weapon, but it's definitely my most used weapon. Oh, this level's fucking long as hell. A weird thing about this game is that the different levels... How difficult, like how long a level is directly related to how difficult it is. So there's like 4 extra long levels spread throughout the game, and because like your health just basically gets continually whittled down by fights, those are the hardest ones to do without dying, and therefore to get a good ranking on, even though like later levels have harder fights. So this is actually like, I would say like maybe the 3rd or 4th hardest level in the game, even though it's level like 4 or 5. It's 5, right? I think it's 5.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna introduce the sword.
Yay.
Which is called Charaba. There we go. I didn't have to look it up. Don't.
See, now I'm interested to see you use the sword because this is the weapon that I main. This is what I played through with.
I think it's just the best weapon, excluding a couple of the bonus weapons that are just like intentionally better. I think it may also be, and no offense to you, because I'm putting myself on blast here too, I think it may be the noob weapon. Because it's just sort of like good at everything. And like, doesn't have like a bunch of hard to use characteristics. Like the ice skates, they don't do that much damage, so they can be a bit difficult to use. But like you have to know when, but like they're also very good for an experienced player because you can get that combo score up by hitting a million times and freezing people and doing cool shit. Whereas the sword just always does a bunch of damage and has, here, I guess I'll just talk about its attributes. So if it has a downside, it's its range. It's pretty short range, and it doesn't have like a, you can't hold the button to shoot because it's not a gun. Which I think is a mistake. There's no reason the sword can't be a gun.
Yeah, it's a gun, yeah.
Final Fantasy VIII set a precedent.
I was gonna say CF the seminal academic work, Final Fantasy VIII.
We're on the same page.
You don't shoot out of that one.
But I like using the sword a lot because I like being super aggressive. There's a lot of ways you can play this game. Like, I've seen people play it very, like, still in a very skilled way, but very passively. They sit very far away. They do a lot of, like, long-range combos and just, like, very carefully manage the enemy's aggro and stuff. And, like, I think it's really cool to do that, and that's not at all what I'm here for. I want to dive into a giant pile of enemies and mash all of my buttons. Like, that's what I'm here for. So, the sword's definitely the best at that. It does great. It does, like, a ton of damage on its hits. And very crucially, it also does a ton of damage on its Wicked Weaves. Its Wicked Weaves are the most powerful. Especially the horizontal swings, which, here. Like, this will hit... A normal Wicked Weave will hit once. The Sword Wicked Weave will hit most enemies twice. And it does a lot of damage per hit, too. So, like, it just... This, basically, like, the Sword Wicked Weave, if you really want to cheese the game... You kind of want to pick sword, do punch, kick, punch over and over, along with some Tetsuzankos. As for other unique attributes it has, it's still relatively fast. I guess it's a little slower than average. Its stiletto is really good because it goes very far because it's Stinger. Because it is, like, I don't know. And then it's got a couple unique attacks. If you do attack, tack, and then pause, you'll do this set of swings, which is very stylish. I try to throw it in where I can. It's kind of bad on hard and above because it has a big tendency to get parried by enemies and just knocked away. But if the enemy is weak for some reason or vulnerable, I try and do that because it's fun. It can also be a launcher. If you wait a sec, yeah. But it's not like a Wicked Weave launcher, so it's not that great. And it's got its charge modifier is that you can sheath it and unsheath it to do a big attack, and you can charge it up to do a bigger attack that hits a big range. And if you charge it to 2 levels, then you do a very powerful attack that has the same range as the first level charge. So just sort of quickly sheathing and unsheathing it is a good thing to mix into your combos, and then if you want to do a big damage on a vulnerable enemy, you can charge it up. Additionally, if you get it to at least level 1 charge, you can actually dodge offset with it and keep the charge. Although, I guess if you do the 5th dodge, you don't keep it. But you have to get the first level charge first, and then you can dodge and then unleash it, which is, you know, a cool mechanic. Again, every weapon has something that, while you're doing the charge modifier, not every weapon actually, but most weapons, while you're doing your charge modifier, will have a special thing that you can do while dodging. And then it's got a sort of secret attack, which is if you hit lock on and don't move, you will charge up the Moonlight Massacre, which is a magical laser beam.
The gun can't... The sword can't be a gun, but it can shoot a magical laser beam.
It's like it's almost a joke move because it's pretty impractical, but there are times to use it. And we haven't introduced... Have we introduced these guys yet? Well, their actual introduction is literally right around the corner, so...
I don't think so, no.
Oh, okay, well, bye. Oh, hello again.
Grace and glory. It's gotta fall down.
Where's my combo? Oh, my combo is so bad because it got interrupted in the middle. Right. I was like, why's my combo score so bad? Oh, right, because I had to wait for him to come back. Does this have a thing? There's a powerful barrier here that's called a gate. It's a metal gate, but that's fine.
There's no way Bayonetta could take down a tiny metal gate, though, Frank.
Hey, do these guys in this introduction look familiar? Because it's the Frost introduction that's been in every Devil May Cry. Or they weren't Frost in the first game. But do you remember in the first game, the lizard guys?
Yeah.
Who appear on pillars and look menacing and then jump down at you and do an attack out of the cutscene? Well, it happens again. And then that also happens in Devil May Cry 4. And I think it happens in 3, but I actually don't remember. Anyways, these are gracious and glorious, and they're sort of like the... I kind of want to call them mini-bosses of a sort. They're not quite that, but... Here, I'm going to back away a little bit while I describe them. So, there's lightning and fire. They basically always come together. They're best friends. Fire has a big fire spin attack. Lightning has like a lightning ground pound attack. They are otherwise basically identical. They like to... They're specifically designed to play around each other. Like, if one of them is hurt, it will back off more, and the other one will attack you more and, like, take front. So, like, it's hard to track one down and kill it, which is very similar to what Frosts do in 4, Devil May Cry 4. And I think maybe similar to what the Lizards do in 1, but I don't remember for sure. And they'll always like dash in and out to like if one of them if one of them's far away, it'll try and dash in close to you, and etc. etc. They have a lot of dashing around. They're the first enemies that can knock their way out of a combo, I think. At least on normal. And they're just sort of like the, I guess, baseline, this enemy is a real deal thing. And their torture attack's really fun. Oh, and they're programmed so that one of them always drops their claw weapons. And their basic... Well, I guess I'll show that in a sec. Rude. Whoa, double lightning. That's scary, actually. They're a little bit vulnerable to juggling. They're not super vulnerable to it, but... Unlike most of the hard enemies, they actually can be juggled in a meaningful amount. Which means that they're, like, juggling's really good, but, like, you can't juggle the dogs much at all. And a lot of the other tough enemies are too big or heavy to juggle, and the joys will just walk out of your juggling entirely. They'll just dodge it. You can still do it some, but these guys are relatively vulnerable to it, so if you're having trouble, make sure to hit them up in the air. And their claws are fun weapons. There's a 3-hit combo, the third hit of which leaves you vulnerable, so you don't actually want to do it. You can also hold, and I literally did not know this until I'd been playing for like 40 hours, but you can hold it down and then use it as a grappling hook to draw an enemy close.
Oh, huh. I don't know if I did that. Or maybe I did on accident, who knows.
Well, like, none of the other angel weapons have a charge modifier like that, I think, so... It's kind of weird that this one does, and I just didn't know. And then, like, I did it once by accident when I didn't realize I had it equipped, and I was like, what was that? Oh, and
Maybe
they're...
they implemented it and just for...
Yeah.
didn't put it in the rules. They're like, we're not gonna do this for every single angel.
Yeah, I never encountered that. That's interesting.
And then, there's also this, which is, the lightning attack, which is you plunge into the ground and leave lightning everywhere, and you can charge it up to make it more damaging. And the fire version of the gloves have a fire spin attack, which you can also charge up, and you just sort of spin around and use fire, and it's way, way better. So if you can manage it, you always want to get the fire gloves, rather than the lightning ones. And you do that by killing the fire guy second. Or by torture attacking him if you kill him first? I can't remember for sure, but only one of them will ever drop the weapons. You can't make both drop, even if you torture attack them both. Unless you wait You can, but it's kind of an exploit. Anyways. Witch time only, so I can only hurt them in witch time, which is pretty straightforward. You just need to, like, wait for them to attack. Oops. One key to beating this faster is to do a torture attack right at the end of your witch time. Like, wail on them for a bit, and then do the torture attack. Because you can keep doing damage to them with the torture attack. Once the witch time is ended.
I've got a fever.
Oh yeah, that's one thing about the sword I forgot. It has 2 endings. If you do like the punch, 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 punch move, and you mash it out so you hit it a bunch of times, it has 2 Excuse me, I am trying to talk. Actually, go ahead and hit me. I've gotten hit too many times. I'm gonna restart this one. Do it a little better.
Being rude.
But it's got 2 here. I'll show it off. If you mash it a bunch, you'll do this big overhead swing. But if you don't mash it at all, then you'll do a sort of stinger move, which is much faster and leaves you less vulnerable, but doesn't do as much damage. So that's its other unique move. I'd forgotten about that one, or at least forgotten to mention it. Anyways, I'm going to try on this one, because I want to do well on at least some of the Alfheims. Excuse me. Nah, I didn't have enough time. Well, my combo's gonna be gone because he's sitting there wheezing.
It's doing like a Bugs Bunny death, where it's just,
Yeah. Oh, ah. Oh, I should have witch attacked him. Witch attacked him? Torture attacked him.
Which attack?
Which attack
Oh,
should I
that's
have
good
done?
news.
it's Abbott Costello.
Third base.
Oh, there is a bit of strategy to this one. You want to get your witch time off the fire guy, and then kill the electric. Wow, that was so short. Wait, what the fuck is happening? Does that sword not count as a... What? That's so confusing. Why was I exiting witch time immediately?
Oh, yeah, that's weird looking.
I don't understand what happened there. Anyways, you want to get your witch time off the fire guy since he gives you more, and then go attack the lightning guy with it. When Alfheims are at their best, they give you weird little, like, strategies like that that just wouldn't be present in the main game. Like, since you can only attack during witch time, you wanna get your witch time off the best attack, and then attack the guy who doesn't give you witch time. I like that. I don't like it when it's just like, here's some dumb bullshit you have to gamble for unless you're amazing.
Why couldn't have that been the instructions on some of them?
Ugh, I hate joys. So joys are the only reason joys aren't overpowered, like, incredibly the best enemy is because they do relatively low damage. They're better at hitting you than anybody else in the game who isn't a boss. But in Alfheim's, it's one hit is one hit. Doesn't matter. So joys are the absolute best enemies in Alfheim's. They're the strongest, and they put them at the final phase of so many. And they also, I think I've complained about this before, but it's literally my least favorite part of the game. There's so many Alfheims where joys, like 2 or 3 joys will appear at the end, and they can attack as soon as they spawn, and their attacks are the fastest in the game. And now your Alfheim's ruined. And like you have to do it again. It's great. I like it.
Kami is steepling his fingers. This ought to piss them off.
Pretty much. Was that dude in normal speed? I think he was. I almost skipped that cutscene. I'm gonna skip a cutscene at some point because it's so easy to skip them.
Huh. My lipstick.
You can, since there's a
If you're
shortcut.
gonna have to redo the level, I will make you.
I mean, if I'm skipping cutscenes and going quickly, you can get through a level real fast. I'm probably gonna show that off tonight, maybe.
I've often seen a girl without lipstick, but lipstick without a girl?
Nice face, Luca.
Curious,
Yeah.
isn't it, Cheshire?
Boy, those markings sure look like something familiar that we don't have the rights to.
Who's kept a secret in this town?
They'd look really silly on a wolf, right? Anyway.
Is Luca.
Kamiya just making awesome face. Yeah, she does that.
About my well-being?
That good?
Sure, the Festival of Resurrection is peak security. The thing only happens once every 500 years. Can you blame them? Besides, when you look as good as I do, security isn't a problem. But a killer like you, on the other hand,
You look hideous,
sure you'll
Bayonetta.
find a way.
Wait,
Little girl. I've seen her somewhere.
Bayonetta just totally fucking ignoring Luca. I love that. Bayonetta's like, wait a minute. Did I leave the oven on?
Don't you get it? Yeah, I'm gonna avenge my
Hey,
father.
don't go freaking out on me. We both know you came here for something.
Luca's like, are you
But what you
okay?
don't know
Like,
is the closer you get, the harder it's gonna be for you to get away from me and what you've done. You'll have to fess up to it all. I can't wait for you to get your hands on whatever it is you're after.
Let me guess. You want a cut? Well, if you're still alive by then, perhaps you can appeal to my generosity.
Luca not even like bothering to wipe the lipstick off of his head.
I don't think he knows he has it on. Because she did it while she was invisible.
Because the truth.
I do like that his idea of a Bayonetta trap was to put lipstick on the ground and hold a photograph.
See when I look at you.
I was kind of hoping it'd have like a big wooden box with a stick.
The truth is, you killed my father.
Free birdseed.
I don't care who believes me. They can't project the truth. The truth will set me free from your black stain on my life. The truth will allow me to expose you to the world. Then, I'll have won. And I'll do it without stooping to your level. Because I'm not a heartless witch like you. Whoa, whoa! What are you gonna do? Kill me in plain sight? Go ahead. It would only prove everything I've said about you. Well, that and sadden the hearts of a number of young ladies. Claire, and Trish, and Sylvia, and Amy.
And other people we don't have
You
the
don't wanna
rights to.
piss her off, let me tell you. Hell hath no fury.
There's actually some concept art for this game that shows that the four girls he was talking about, there are references to Capcom characters, of course, but they're also his cats. Or his dogs, I think, rather.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll get the picture, but three of them are his cats, and then Amy is his dog,
That's right.
which I guess makes sense.
And each of them, of course, looks like the character from their series, too.
Eh.
It's like, wait a minute. She saved my life, I guess. Oh, and here's where the dogs get introduced. Oh, here's where the lightning dog gets introduced. I really like the stained glass windows on his snout. And how his snout, like, when it's closed, it looks like it looks sort of like a architectural thing, but then, like, it opens and it's like, no, it's a scary mouth. Wow. Ooh.
I also like that it has an attack halo, like it's facing forward like a HUD or something.
Yeah, all the halos in the game are denote the rank of every angel. So the more elaborate they are, the stronger the angel is.
They're just mounts.
They just mouths. They got kind of a Crocomire head going on there.
Oh, that's what I was trying to think of what they reminded me of. Crocomire, that's it.
Oh, I didn't parry again. I broke the cycle. I was parrying every attack.
Frank, you dope.
No problem.
And for
Bye, Shell. Sorry, keep going.
That's fine. For the Link costume in the Wii version, if you equip the sword, then obviously it turns into Master Sword, but you can also do Link's Spin Slash.
Huh.
It's pretty much the only difference, but
Wait, is it different than the spin slash here?
it's slightly different. I can't remember what it looks like exactly, but it's yeah, I think that's the only difference though. So if you put on that costume and you equip that, then you can deflect attacks with the shield and hit with the sword as if you're attacking with the Shiraba, and so it's a very good combination.
Wow, I thought it was all just like cosmetic shit. I did not realize they fucking changed the game.
Oh no, yeah, they actually, yeah, there's actually some slight differences in all the costumes. I think they added more abilities to them for Bayonetta 2, but I think they're also locked behind amiibos or something for the
Boo.
Switch, but... Bayonetta 2 does add the Star Fox costume.
It's cute. Well, I mean, it doesn't add it, because there's only one version of Bayonetta 2. And it's the Nintendo version.
Oh, that's
Well,
true.
I mean, like, well,
Right.
that's true, but...
But I get what you mean.
I mean, it's not... There isn't a Star Fox costume in Bayonetta 1, either way, but Bayonetta 2 adds it in.
I like that you can't check this thing until you use it, and it's just a gear you can turn that makes it night. Was the moon's sudden appearance in the sky just a coincidence?
She turned it without even checking what it was, and then the moon came out, and she's like, huh, come to think of it, there is a moon drawn on this thing.
It's so... The descriptions make her look so stupid, is the thing. Just like how the descriptions in DMC1 did not sound like Dante. Anyways, because the moon's out, gravity on walls, we can walk on walls, which means that we can set the gravity to this, and then jump, and fall, which is such a cool concept, I think.
And this begins her journey where she rotates around the entire Earth.
Yeah, I mean, if she doesn't hit something, she's just gonna keep falling forever, I guess, so...
She's like, I'm sure I'll slam into a building at some point.
Oh yeah, you can do moves during this if you want. You never actually want to, because it just slows you down, and... But, it interrupts your, thing there. Anyways, you get over here and it's daytime again, I guess. Which is weird.
A lot of spinning going on.
She does like to rotate.
The ice skates are pretty good against Joys because they're multi-hit, and Joys are generally weak to that. Because they can dodge something, but then you just keep attacking them. Okay, where are these feathers? There they are.
By the way, Frank, I do enjoy on your stream how you'll be like, oh god, I can't believe I missed this or I did that. Whereas I'm watching it, I'm like, I sometimes did one of those dodges right.
Yeah, I just kind of smushed the controller over and over again. It's like, alright, I eventually won. Good work, me.
Well, one thing I'm probably gonna talk about this more in later streams, but now that I've introduced most of the mechanics up front, there's no enemies left? What the hell? That took her so long to die. Okay. Oh, this is where these obnoxious flying guys are supposed to get introduced in the normal game. They do look kind of cool. I like how they turn into manta rays, and then they're like... But then they're like, also, they transform into like people with arms and wings. Anyways. But one of the things that Bayonetta does so much better than Devil May Cry, and I think this was definitely one of Kamiya's like goals, was he recognized that Devil May Cry was very inaccessible. Like even Devil May Cry 1 was somewhat inaccessible. But like 3 and 4, and 4 in particular, it's not even accessible to experienced players. Like, I played Devil May Cry 3 a lot, and going into 4, I didn't really enjoy my first time. I didn't really click with it and start enjoying it a ton until I'd gone through, like, at least 1.5 times. Like your first playthrough in Devil May Cry 4 isn't even that fun. Now, the later playthroughs are amazingly fun, but Bayonetta was like, what if we made it so that everyone would like the game?
Just, fingers to lips,
I also like how these gargoyles have the crescent moon symbol in them on their wing, as their wing setup.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many little design things in this game that are... I don't know what this evil wind monster is. It's never explained. It just exists.
So there's an Alfheim somewhere around here, and I was wrong. I said earlier that Alfheim you did earlier was one I messed up on. It's the Alfheim up these somewhere up in this area on these steps is where I was just like, oh, in Alfheim, I'm gonna try this. This is interesting. And then an hour later, I'm just like, I'm never doing that again. Anyways.
Turtle goes, what if the game was fun?
Oh yeah, there's little rats in this area.
It is.
There's a lot of. I think there's probably animals I still don't know about, just little critters that they've just spread throughout this game. Oh, the stairs
They
end.
animate the people.
Oh, and this is where these dudes get introduced. So these are pretty basic angels in a lot of way, but they have a shit ton of health. And they have a shield, so they tend to block or parry a lot of your attacks. They're sort of just the tanks of the basic angel crowd. They're pretty slow. On their own, they're not usually that bad, but it's when they get mixed with a crowd of other angels that their big sweeping attacks might catch you off guard because you won't see it coming. They're hard to launch too since they're so heavy. Even in Witch Time, your basic launcher doesn't launch them. They only have like 2 attacks though, so, well, technically 3, but... So, on their own, they're pretty predictable. And the angel weapon they drop blows. It's got a 3-hit attack, which is so slow you will get hit in between every single attack, even on normal. And then it's got a stinger attack, which is the only attack worth using with it. But it's very short range, has a lot of recovery afterwards, although you can cancel with a dash, or a dodge. And it doesn't do very much damage. So it's just bad. It's a bad sword, and they should feel bad for using it. Oh, and in case it's not obvious, you can drop weapons. You do it by clicking in the left analog stick, which I feel like they never tell you, but...
Oh, yeah, I did not know that, actually.
I think it's somewhere, but it's not obvious. I don't remember where I figured that out.
Also, one thing I didn't notice myself when I was playing, but I noticed on your playthrough here, when you on the Ardors, when you do the Iron Maiden torture, I didn't notice that the Iron Maidens did a little like gulp motion.
Yes, they do.
when
It's
they
so cute.
closed, which is actually hilarious.
Something I haven't really shown off yet is that at the end of most torture animations, if you don't hit anything, Bayonetta will actually do like a little bonus bit of animation where she just like... I think the Iron Maiden one is the best because she just sits there and laughs for a while.
Huh.
You can't usually see it because there's usually like another enemy who wants to kill you, but... Wait, no, come back! Okay, bye. I guess it fell to the ground. Anyways, now that we've come up here, there's an Alfheim back where we came from, so just reset your gravity and fall back down.
I wonder if canonically Bayonetta is always like, I should probably walk like a few yards back. Maybe there's a magical angel portal that appeared now that I've gone to the store to pick up a few items.
Okay, so my previous G-strat of just use the whip won't actually work here, because you'll notice I can't drag him to me. Because he's armored and heavy. And he instead is just like, no, I'm gonna attack you instead. So you could do fancy things like punch, punch, kick, launch him. But I'm not gonna do that. Turns out I still have a cheese strat. That's very dumb. And a little finicky, but since you get infinite times to try it, it doesn't usually take very long.
Cheese strats.
Cheese. So, the key here, you want the Eternal Testimony because you need to recharge magic naturally for this, and you want to equip the Bracelet of Time, which makes it so that you don't get Witch Time when you dodge, but you can hold down the taunt button to make time slow down at the cost of magic. And the fun thing about Witch Time is that in Witch Time, you can move heavy enemies around. So yeah, I can trigger Witch Time manually, as I'm doing right now. So the fun thing about Witch Time is that in Witch Time, you can drag this dude. So basically, I want to keep activating Witch Time with the watch, drag that guy up, jump off him, and then just sort of hover for a while to recharge my magic. It's absolutely the cheesy way to do this, but I didn't feel like figuring it out otherwise. Oops, I fucked.
Stupid looking.
It's very stupid looking.
Get up here. You're going fishing.
Bang, 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 bang. And then you can just do bird form for the last bit, too. And then if you're in bird form when you finish this mission, then you just sort of appear standing in midair for a sec while it photographs you.
Yep, that looks pretty good. Maybe they noticed that in development, they're like, no, that's kind of what Bayonetta would do. Keeping it.
So yeah, that is the strat for literally every single Alfheim that requires you to do that. Oh, and a thing I don't think I mentioned. So from normal to hard, there's new enemy placements. From hard to very hard, I think enemy placements stay the same, but Alfheim enemy placements are different in between hard and very hard, if I remember correctly. But it still works there too. You just need to make sure to time it right. Like, it's very simple. And speaking of cheesy things, so this area you're supposed to carefully dodge all the damaging ground of like angel writing that shows up. But we can also run very fast and jump very far, so we can just sort of get our way up there and skip all the whatever. Like, you can just jump. It's another door that won't let us through, so we've got a puzzle to solve. A very tricky puzzle.
Damn these fast-moving clouds that just kind of cover the moon and uncover it at the worst possible time.
Yeah, what if it was a really cloudy day and the moon didn't come out? We should just sit at the bottom of the tower and be like, fuck.
Get to climbing.
Like, and it's implied that this is how witches all got around. So is it just like, ah, sorry, head witch mistress, I can't come into witch work today. It's cloudy and I can't walk up the tower. Like,
I guess they'd understand.
Be like, yeah, I'm not there either. We're all just staying home. What are you gonna do? You can't, like an elevator? I don't think so.
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know. They
that.
have advanced technology.
Well, I think that moon wall walking was their main form of transportation, but eventually they phased it out.
I get it, but I'm not laughing at that one.
Not even pretend laugh?
I mean, I'm not laughing at it either. My delight, I feel my delight inside. That's terrible.
No, I get it. We've all got brain diseases that require us to do things. Like, mine requires me to play video games all the time. I get it.
Yeah.
Or else the grabby demon hands will come and get you.
You've been naughty.
Oh, Theptato laughed. I appreciate it. I appreciate you lying for me.
Oh boy. Now it's time for the bit where they make you do platforming, but it's windy. But first you want to go down here for another Alfheim.
This is the Alfheim. This is the one Alfheim I tried, and this is the last Alfheim I tried. And you'll notice I'm pointedly not saying the last Alfheim I completed.
Well, I can show you the easy way to do this, but it requires a weapon I haven't introduced yet. Okay. Let me see if I can do it with these weapons. I might be able to. How much do I have? Wow, I'm just really getting destroyed.
Oh, really? that was my experience.
Well, I usually just choose this one with a different weapon, so I'm holding my attacks too long to try and do max damage. I guess I probably should have said out loud in case someone didn't see on stream, but the key here is to... I have a limited number of punches and kicks that I can use to kill. Oh, so what you do is you kill these guys by doing a lot of charge attacks, and then you pick up this weapon here. You make sure to get the Flame Fist, and then you can kill at least one of them with just the Flame Fist.
Yeah.
If you do it right, you can kill all three with, or like, at least 2.5 of their life bars with the Flame Fist, but I didn't. They weren't really spaced properly. It's a little random. Depends where they are. I might actually fail this with the shotguns here. We'll see. No, I guess I'm good. Whoa! I did not mean to crow within, and now I've ruined my combo. I'm gonna die anyway.
A lot of games from, don't worry about it.
I got hit
to the
twice.
best of us.
No, I used up a lot of my punches and kicks early on, and then I was like, wow, I don't think I have enough to do this, and I started, like, sort of panicking and trying to get the most.
It'll never immediately fail you though. It's just like, hey, if you think you can make it work.
You technically could, because there are things you can do that do damage that aren't a punch or a kick. There's a couple things. One, Bat Within technically does a tiny bit of damage. Oh, dang. I didn't have enough time to do that. Please, I'm trying to do an attack, and you keep interrupting. You can also do a perfect parry, which will make you do an attack. So if you just sit here and parry until you get the perfect one, I'm getting killed instead.
Oh wait, I think, yeah.
But
I
I've
think
shown
one of
that.
my friends actually tried it with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we put on the Link outfit, and then he was just like, I'm just gonna keep doing this until I get the parry. And then we're gonna...
And then there's also the evil rosary beads. Or, wait, what are they actually called? They're called the Evil Harvest Rosary. Okay, I was right. So this makes you not get witch time from dodging. But if you dodge right... Wait, are they disabled for this? Maybe they don't work. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't work for this, or maybe they're specifically disabled. Because that would be the easiest way to do it. Basically, if you dodge right, instead of getting witch time, you get a... you leave like a bead on the ground that does damage. But they didn't come out, so maybe it doesn't work. Maybe they actually specifically coded that one not to happen. In which case, well played.
You beat me to a video game.
And yeah, doing the shotgun, that counts as one kick, and it took half his health because it's very powerful. But yeah, I tend to, if I don't cheese this one, I tend to get destroyed because I try and milk too much out of an attack, which is what's happening. Ah, whatever, you get the point. There's a weapon that makes this much easier, and I always do it because I don't really enjoy the Alfheims that much. But I haven't introduced it yet, so I'll introduce it later. But yeah, there's something about like the mental effect of like I have limited punches and kicks that makes me play worse.
Now we get to climb up Snaky. Also, whenever she's using Panther Within, all the dead flowers is supposed to be like Okami.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that,
Matter
but
of
it's
six-
true.
Yeah.
Speaking of Panther Within, this next bit is a very scripted sequence. But if you're using Panther Within or the Ice Skates, you move faster than the scripted sequence. And it's like really easy to die. I'm gonna do it. Let's see what happens. Whoa, see if I ran into that guy. Oh, wow, he almost ran into me. Okay. If that dude runs into you, he knocks you off and you die immediately, because then he eats you. And he never runs into you if you're just walking. But if you're using Panther Within, you can absolutely run into him. It's an inspired.
He's inspired. Sneaky.
These are the first dudes in the game where you really have to approach them differently. It's got two phases. One where it's very far away and runs around and occasionally, like, tries to dive at you and throw a fireball. It's not very dangerous doing that. And you can knock it out of that by hitting it as it goes past or by shooting it a bunch. And if you do, it'll collapse on the ground. But eventually it'll also go into phase 2, which is this. And if you get close... Well, it just threw a fireball, which ruins my explanation a little bit. But if you get close, it'll keep doing these quick bites and these quick tail lashes, and even dodging them doesn't give you witch time. So you can't actually fight it close effectively because it's constantly making you dodge and not even giving you like a witch time for it. So what you actually have to do is stay far away and play a ranged game against it. And if you damage it enough, it will fly away, and then you can do this counter to it. And this is the only torture attack style thing in the game where you actually move faster the more you press the buttons. So you can make the punches do that. Like, basically everything else always moves the same speed. But if you really mash on this one, it also does a lot more damage if you mash more. Which is generally not true of everything else. It only does a little bit more damage if you mash more with most of these.
Oh yeah, that's where the Freddy has a Freddy lunch.
Nom nom.
Off head.
I forget what
I
this...
feel like the little serpent's little, like, wing arms just flapping like, no.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Bernie.
What's the bird called? I'm gonna look it up.
Turns out his mouth is.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah,
It is Malthus.
I believe it's Malthus. Yeah, I said that earlier.
I think maybe next stream I will look at all the, or most of the demons and angels in the book as the pre-stream little thing what people filter in, because they're really fun. Oh yeah, one of these gargoyles, specifically this one, has a witch heart in it too. Wait, am I... No, I remember. There's an Alfheim, but not yet. And now we fight another, and I'll show you the... What? Oh, okay. That wasn't quite the glitch I wanted. Let me see if I can get this glitch to happen.
Oh no.
Oh, it's not happening. So if you Crow Within, not Crow Within, Umbran Spear, which is that thing where you dash right at somebody, it's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna get hit over and over. Oh well. Sometimes if you Umbran Spear at this guy, you'll just continuously Umbran Spirit him like 5 times in a row, and like, you'll just keep like, and you can't stop it. It's really weird. It always ends with you getting hit, so it's not actually a good thing. You can also just keep parrying the dude if you want. But the best idea is to, if you want to attack him close, you want to attack where his head is, not where his tail is, because he can be tail down, head up, or head down, tail up, because that's the way I like to fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
Beat you to it! But basically, you want to find moments of weakness and dash in when you can, and do damage, and then you want to back up and use whatever ranged weapons you have. And either continue to use ranged weapons on him to stay safe, or find a way to activate Witch Time and get in. Anyways, once you beat him, you can go back this way. Oh, it's not an Alfheim, that's right, it's just a bunch of enemies. You get this weird fight, which is just more of these guys for no particular reason. Oh, I forgot one of the sword unique moves. I'll show in a second. Or right now. If you do 3 punches and then pause, you do this big circular thing and you get like a sword swing. It's not a super great move, but it's handy because it's a really great way to clear space if you're surrounded. Anyways. Oh, I don't know if I ever said, but there are 2 sets of weapons I have equipped, and when I do this, I'm switching between them. I assumed that was probably obvious. I probably said it at some point, but I also really appreciate something they did for Bayonetta, which is if you're near a ledge and you touch it, she will actually grab onto the side of the ledge and like snap onto it and pull herself up, which is like, thank you. Thank you so much. For real. Finally, you fixed platforming. Oh, and here's another really difficult puzzle. This fence has been exposed to the elements, weakening it considerably so you can just break it. I don't know like why that has an examine thing. That's like the last examine thing. It's not totally the last, but like...
Why can't Bayonetta just backflip over it?
You can also just jump over it. There's nothing stopping you from just jumping over it.
Whatever.
And here's another... You'll notice this isn't actually... Oh wait, sorry. Is this the boss? This is either an upcoming boss or it's a weaker version of the same boss. We will be seeing like alternate versions of every boss that we fight. Like we'll see another Fortitudo, but it's not actually Fortitudo, it's a weaker version, and you can tell because the halo's a little different. I think.
Also, yeah, what's the name of that tube arm dude? I guess we'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
Tube arm is weird. Tube fingers.
So the angels are mad at John, even though they're supposed to be working with her.
This will be taken care of in the manner I see fit.
Oh, that's right. John's guns are named All for One, and they're named after the Musketeers, I think.
I suppose coming here has given you a second wind. Feeling better, Bayonetta?
Who are you? And don't you dare say my long-lost sister.
Sister, you've quite the active imagination. You and I once fought for the jewel upon the crown of the Umbra throne. And now that you've returned, my sleeping beauty, it is time to finish that fight.
John fight 2. This time it's in the present. And now we remember her stabbing us, so... And I guess while we were literally lost in a memory, she walked all the way around behind us and then pointed the gun at us again.
It's like, I know that. That's Bayonetta's remembering things face. This is a chance to get behind her.
I like this fight a lot, actually, this cutscene. It's very rad. It's so good.
Yeah, this fight was amazing.
Kick fired.
Oh, you can see the arena flashing in the background. If you skip this cutscene at certain parts of it, then the entire arena, and I showed Cortex this because it happened to me, the entire arena you fight on is just flashing in and out the entire time. It might be happening right now. I can see it happening in the background in this cutscene. It's really...
Yeah.
I uploaded a video on my YouTube channel. Please check it out if you're really interested. But like, it's impossible to fight because the entire ground is flashing. Oh, it's happening! Oh, it's not as bad as it was, but it is still happening. This seems a little bit better, but Jesus. Why is this happening?
Ah.
Well, have fun. This is what Kamiya thinks actual Z fighting looks like.
He was like, Z fighting? Is this a new type of fighting? I want it in our game.
No, Kamiya didn't know, but implement the Z fighting, it hurts so much about.
Okay, is it over now? I think it's done. Okay. I took a lot of damage, but it's fine. So this fight's a lot like the previous Jean fight. But she has more weapons and she's more active now. But again, you can only get witch time off dodging her wicked weaves. So I might actually die right here, because I've lost a lot of health in that first phase. I literally can't take another hit. Jesus, that was my
Quality
best.
matching.
That is my best mash, and I barely made it. Like, it's absurd when she does. If she's very close to death, her mash will be 2 phases of mashing, and the second one is so hard.
Afraid of
It's
something,
absurd how
are
much
you?
they expect of you.
Afraid? Me? This is a
I'm sure you could
weapon
probably hear the mash.
still.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, we could definitely hear it.
It was like when someone was hacking the mainframe in a movie.
Now, in fairness, you can avoid taking that prompt. You don't need to take it. You can just dodge the attack and then keep hitting her. Oh yeah, this is where all the animal transformation moves are shown, by the way. I wouldn't be able to use Panther Within until this point. And in fact, for some reason, the prompt still shows. Oh, it's not showing up. Oh, it does show up. One piece of the Beast Within tutorial is left within the game and doesn't get removed when you play a New Game Plus. It's just this one prompt. Oh well.
Oops.
Anyways, this is where they tell you can turn into a panther, and also where it unlocks the ability to buy the Crow Within stuff, where you fly around.
Oh my, that was bloody amazing.
I do like how much effort they put in designer for animal forms. I haven't really looked at them close on stream, but like, they're very detailed. Like, they're as detailed as...
They are.
Like, it's pretty crazy. I missed 2? Oops. Well, oh, that's right. I didn't complete a couple because they were like whatever. But I still got a gold because I deserve it.
You do deserve it.
It's nice to see what.
You got bonus points for going through the epileptic.
Yeah. It's so like you probably can tell, but it's very hard to fight when that happens.
It's nice to see so many golds and platinums because, like I said on another stream, all I saw was Enzo's fat ass falling down.
But he's such a good character. It's still like not that bad.
Oh, what a day! I think I did get some. I got some Lucas and some Cereses. Mostly it was Enzo's.
I think Cereza's is like the worst because she's just like yay, and I'm like, don't cheer me, like
Don't accept that.
Couldn't you do better, Mommy? Oh, we haven't gotten there yet.
So that has been. Do you want to do another level, or do you want me to just cap it off with a couple bonus things?
I'm cool with you continuing on. I got nowhere
Okay.
to be.
Yeah,
I'll do one more, and then maybe I'll do some bonus stuff. Give me just a second here.
Just beat the game tonight,
God.
Frank.
With the cutscenes, that's gonna be like just cutscenes alone is at least like an hour and a half, I think. So that's too brutal. Thank you. Okay, yeah, we'll do one more. Gates of Paradise. Which level is this
How
one?
I play video games.
Oh yeah, I remember. And also, I guess I can say it here, because of AGDQ, we probably won't be doing this for like 3 weeks, right? Because you're not gonna be
let's see.
around next Friday or Saturday, I'm assuming?
I leave on Saturday, so we could conceivably, but probably get up super early.
Yeah, I was
so
gonna say, like, you
that'd be
probably could do Friday night, but you probably don't want to. I don't want to make you do that, so I'm imagining you're not available for a couple weeks. Unless you can.
Unless we want to do it earlier in the week. I guess we can hash that out, but
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
because I actually did get all my work done for AGDQ already, so now I'm like,
Nice.
I'm not stressing out at the last second unless they ask me to do something like 3 days before, which is still possible, but I don't know what else they could possibly ask me to do at this point.
Fair enough. Nothing that should stop me from opening, of course. Then why, like, make it a description thing? Oh, this is our first introduction to flaming enemies. They're on fire. So you can't actually hit them with melees. If I do, I recoil and take damage, and can also take more damage because I'll be less vulnerable. In Witch Time, however, because I'm going so fast, their fire is put out while I'm in Witch Time.
Kamiya has never fully understood how time works or what it does.
In fairness, neither does Bayonetta. She does not care how time works.
Yeah, maybe that's where her powers come from, is not giving enough of a shit about it. Because Beautiful Joe did that a lot as well. Like, oh, time's slowed down. That means this tiny water droplet has turned into a big water droplet. If you go fast enough, you're on fire, but that's the good kind of fire, unlike when you get set on fire.
Yeah, I love that there's two different types of being on fire in Beautiful Joe. It's so
It's
good.
a good on fire and bad on fire.
Anyway, so the way to fight these guys is to use long-range things like shooting with the guns or hitting with the whip, and then get into Witch Time. And while in Witch Time, if you hit them enough times, and it's really like number of hits, it doesn't matter how hard the hits are, but if you hit them enough times, their fire will go out. Like you can see, he's just sort of smoking. And then you have a while to hit them, but if you let them get up, then they will put their fire back on by getting angry. I guess. I don't know, they just sort of look angry and get back on fire.
That's what happens when angels get angry.
There's also one weapon that's a fire weapon that allows you to hit them freely. But that's going to be the last weapon I introduce, because it's probably the most complicated, and I don't feel like doing it right now. What I do feel like introducing right now, however, is rockets, because rockets are good.
Rockets are.
So, this is Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore. Like, I guess it was just an army guy who went to hell, and then I guess because he was in hell, he's a demon now?
Either way, Rodon beat the shit out of him and turned him into a...
Yeah, it's not totally clear to me. Like, the description just says it's like a... Like, he got consigned to hell, so he was a human, and I guess humans can become demons? Because it's... Or this is a human soul. I don't know. I don't understand. Anyways, these fulfill the purpose of the big, slow, heavy hitter weapons. Oh, and when you equip them, the special perfume... Wait, let me get to a wall so I can get close up. You get a silly-looking army hat and sunglasses. Which is so good.
Pretty good.
You have bazookas on your arms and legs.
I
just
do.
wanted to point that out. Okay, continue.
So,
Yeah, those are the weapons that I'm talking about.
That's
And-
that's just fucking awesome. Is all.
It's super, super good. So their rocket launcher tonfas is how you use them. So you swing them around. Their melee range is pretty short, and they don't actually do tons of melee damage, although they do have a decent amount of stun. But where they really get all their power is their charge modifier, because holding down makes them shoot a rocket. And so, like, it makes them even slower, of course, because it takes forever to shoot a rocket. But the rockets do tons of damage, and they're long range, and, of course, they have a huge area of effect. And additionally, at least for the basic punch and kick combos, if you hold the button down, you can shoot 2 per attack. So, you know, I can hold it down and shoot 2, and then hold the second attack down and shoot 2. And then the third attack actually shoots 2 rockets at once, and I can hold that down and shoot 2 more. Unlike the rest of the weapons, it only has a 3-punch combo. It doesn't go on longer than that, although you can make it into a kick combo. I really like putting these guys on the legs while I have a fast weapon on the arms, because kick attacks are already pretty slow. And having them on the legs lets you put in a huge burst of power whenever you feel like it by just holding down. But they're also really good equipping all 4. There's no enemy to show it off, but if I did the Umbran Spear, which usually makes you dash at someone in crow form, if you equip the rockets on your arms, instead you shoot the rockets behind you and jet at them, and it counts as an attack.
Nice.
Which is rad. The other special attacks that these have, as I showed, they've already got the special trait of holding it down. But also, if you delay on the 3rd hit, then she does a whole bunch of fancy shots, and then she shoots, She shoots, I did it wrong. What's the timing on this? I don't usually put them on the hands. There it is. She does fancy stuff like this, and then she shoots 2 long-range Wicked Weaves, which just penetrate through everything. It doesn't work on feet, though. On feet, you just do the spinny thing. Oh, no, yes it does. I remember. But the timing's just weird, and I never do it. Okay, how do I do this? There we go. I never do that attack when it's on the legs, so I didn't have any idea. I think they're only unique moves, but their bullet climaxes are really unique, and that they're big and slow and do a lot of stagger. And another fun thing about them is all of the special moves, like their stinger leaves behind a huge thing. The breakdance with them is super good because it shoots a rocket directly into the ground and another rocket that usually hits someone right next to you. So it's really handy to just do the breakdance a little bit. Their portal kick is better because when you land, you'll also shoot a rocket right at your feet, which helps keep you safe. Basically, it can be really handy to just keep the rockets as your second weapons and switch to them when you want to do a special move, because they just sort of shoot rockets everywhere whenever you do a special move. So. And, yeah. Those are the rockets. And, those little buttons go up after a while, so you have to run across them as a panther. I guess Cereza is just here too, because that kid is everywhere. Oh, here's the most bullshit hiding thing in the game. Behind these rocks. And if I remember correctly, I think one of the pieces of the record to get these rockets is behind that rock, so... Like, there's just a weapon you won't get if you don't look behind there.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I knew that was going to be there. I knew there was rocks in a room that was like this on my second playthrough, when I played through it again and picked it up again, and I still missed it.
Has there been any other has there been any other environment destruction secrets other than that one so far?
And the trash can.
And the trash can.
I mean, like, where you actually, like, take down a wall or actually a section of wall. Like,
yeah, there's been a
standing thing.
There's a couple, but none of them give you
okay.
none of them give you a weapon piece like that one does. There's
Okay,
a couple.
fair enough.
There was one in the second level that gave us an Alfheim, and there'll be one in like another couple levels from now that will give us another Alfheim.
Now I'm legit mad because, like,
You could have had rocket launcher Tonfas and you
I
didn't.
could have had rocket launcher Tonfas.
Yeah. No, I
This was the
feel you.
This was the first time. This was the first level where I didn't collect all the record pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
now I
most
know
of the record
why.
pieces are up to this point. You basically run into all the record pieces, like guaranteed. I think you could miss them, but you'd have to try. But did I land next to the man? Here we go.
Wow, you popped out of that serpent's right there.
This serpent's missing his fireballs. He's just missing. There you go. Oops. Okay, you still can't run into them with the... There we go. If there's two of them, if you kill one, the second one will also tend to do that attack where you can counter it. And that's how much damage you can do if you mash it. You can literally kill them. You're not really supposed to do that much damage in that attack, but they don't cap it, so... If you don't mash that hard, then, that does, like, maybe a fifth of its health. Instead of almost all of its health.
Birdie gets stabbed out of the birdie lodge.
I do like that it does just actually move like a bird. You can just, like, look around. Oh, hey. Here's an angel. Here's an angel worm to eat.
I'm demon bored.
Gulp. I do like that it just... Gulp.
Gulp.
Delicious.
And people in chat are complaining about it, and I do about finding the thing behind it. I agree. As much as I think the game's weakest part is that it forces an exploration element that doesn't really suit the game very well. Like, it's kind of neat. It encourages you to look around at the environment, which is generally quite detailed. Like, just looking at these statues, they have so many neat little details in them. and encourages you to get a little more immersed in the world, I guess. And like, but like ultimately, I don't think it's that fun to stop fighting angels for a while so that you can find a hidden thing somewhere. And I think Kamiya thinks that's what a game is supposed to do. I think it's the weakest part of the game, and if I were making Bayonetta, I would probably not have secrets in it like that at all, maybe.
See, here's the thing. So, as having played it for the first time recently, like the other things where it's like I found secrets, like when you go to Paradiso, whatever, and you like got it, you walk around the tree, and oh hey, there's a treasure chest. Okay, let's go. Like that kind of exploration, the searching around the environment, I did not mind at all. I like that. But that rock thing, that record piece was not that. That was just like, hey, this bullshit that you haven't had to look out for and you wouldn't know to look for. Yeah, you got to do that to get the, the rocket launcher. So that's like, yeah. So yeah, I guess in general I don't mind the exploration stuff as much, but that one was particularly shitty.
I mean, with Kami, you gotta take the good with the bad. Also, I think by triggering that cutscene, I might have just ended the verse. Oh no, I guess I'm still in it. Good. If you end a verse without killing all the enemies in it, it counts as skipping the verse entirely. I think I talked about that a bit ago, but it's silly.
Pretty silly.
I don't know if that happened there or not. I won't know till the end of the level, actually. Oh no, it still says verse 3, so I guess I didn't. I guess I found that out.
By the way, we probably pointed out earlier, but I just love that every lever, everything that's pole-shaped that you have to interact with.
Yeah, you do it all sexy.
Pole dances. She always pole dances. That's her only way to interact with a pole-shaped thing. Pole dance.
She became a fireman for a little while, but the job didn't quite work out. She was always sexy, lighting down a pole. Buildings burned down while she was doing that.
Anyways, we cleared that off, so it's time to go over here and do an Alfheim. Because it's backtracking time. We hadn't backtracked in a while.
Is it bad that Alfheim always makes you think of Alf?
No, this is what they store Alfs here.
Oh god.
Oh,
The Alf character action game is really good, actually.
No wonder I don't like them.
so this one is kind of a pain here. And takes a very long time, so I'm only gonna go for one go. The goal is to do the required number of torture attacks. This might be one of maybe my least favorite? So the goal is to build up a lot of, you basically want to do the torture attacks on the early guys, because doing them on the later enemies is difficult. So the way I do that is, you mix in a little bit of taunting to build up magic meter, but you basically want to build magic meter. So I equip, pistols, and just shoot people a lot with them, because they do very little damage and build up magic very quickly. And then I wail on the, your goal is to wail on the big guy, and then use the torture attacks on the small guys. Which is harder than it sounds, because it's very hard to specifically target the big guys and the small guys with the attacks you want to hit them with. Also, this is made so much easier by having the Moon Pearl and the Eternal Testimony again. Since that means I get four of those little things back every time. I did not hit that! What the fuck? I hope my button's not breaking again. Because that's the button I always break on Xbox 360 controllers, is the right bumper. I have literally gone through in the past 7 years, either 3 or 4 Xbox 360 controllers, and every single one of them had the right bumper break.
What are you doing to the right bumper?
I guess I should stop sticking my dick in it?
In the bumper?
No, I don't think so. That's probably not the problem. It's probably just poorly made.
I mean, it'd have to be something that could do some damage, so.
Anyways, that one takes a really long time, and I... That's mean. It's mean but fair, though. Anyways, I don't really like doing that one.
Just like this game.
That one takes forever, and it's another one that ends with 3 joys, so fuck it. I'm not gonna do it on stream, because it takes a very long time to get through, and... Like, the optimum way to do it is just taunting a lot and
Teenage Dream appreciated those. Joke.
Oops, I was looking at chat, and I failed my platforming.
Good.
I'm TV, why are you ruining my stream? How dare you?
Are you gonna record that and play that every time you do a stream?
Anyways, another one of this run across the 3 buttons in Panther mode puzzles that are very, very tricky. Oh, so, I guess... Oh, is this just Gracious? These dudes never actually get a proper introduction, and I think they may never appear on hard at all, actually. Or if they do, only in optional fights. But this is either Gracious or Glorious. And much like Grace and Glory, those Fire and Lightning guys, they're basically the upgraded versions of that. They usually come in pairs. I guess this one didn't since it's the first one. But, they're basically like Grace and Glory, only they're like, they look different, obviously. Instead, they're white and black, respectively. And, they move a lot faster, and they do a bit more damage, and you can't get witch time off them at all. You can never get witch time, no matter how good you dodge. The only way you can get witch time is by doing a perfect parry. Which I actually just did during that fight, so.
Good for you.
Oh, that's one thing about the rocket launchers, too. If you equip them on your hands, they give you a very powerful parry move. The perfect parry doesn't attack, but it's different with each weapon, and with most weapons, it's not really a very good attack. Like, with the whip, it sucks. This bridge is going to collapse if I go across it further, so I'm going to try and drag these dudes over here. I've never really done that. Oh, never mind. I guess it didn't want me to. I tried to save them. I tried to save them.
I'm trying to help you. You're the 2 angels I'm gonna like. I'm gonna help. Fall down.
Whoa, nice.
And I think this is just copied from the bridge that you get through early in the game.
Oh yeah, this first doesn't end until you cross the bridge. I forgot. There's some very alluring looking passages, like there's a passage underneath this bridge that it looks like you can get to, but you can't. I was so sure that was a secret down there. Like, look at it. Doesn't that look like a secret down there?
Yeah, that looks like where you'd hide something.
Oh, totally. 100%.
I tried so many times.
So it's like, no, idiot, there's nothing down there. It's behind the rocks and the random fucking fountain.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
stupid
so
jerk.
What are you boys doing in here?
Oh, man.
Are you hiding something from me? Come on.
Ankles rangers.
Man,
Oh.
walking like a stripper version of Arlie Hermy.
Oh, I love this bit.
You've been cheating on me, haven't you? Someone else caught your eye?
The bird's like, I don't understand what you're talking about. They just like, that doesn't make sense to me as a joke.
Something tells me I'm going to regret this.
My sweet, lovely child. She is the key to your future.
Key to your future. I'm sure that's not important at all. I'm sure that will be very thoroughly explained and make sense. So she's brought Cereza through. She brought Cereza through to the other world and then put her back in to this
I
world.
suppose I can make an exception and kill all of you. Just this once, of course.
So the goal of this fight is to protect Cereza, which is actually really easy because Cereza's shield has like 1,000,000 health and also recharges. You can see it underneath my, You can see it underneath my magic bar. You can see that blue shield bar.
Yeah, when I first played this, I was thinking, oh god, is this gonna be like an Alfheim thing? The shield can only take 3 attacks or something. It's like, oh, you're actually fair about this. For some bizarre ass reason. I'm glad for it, I just don't know why.
I think that her getting hit doesn't even count against your ranking. I'm not sure. She did get hit this time. She usually doesn't. Because all the angels in this room are actually, like, super easy? Like, I don't know why, but they always seem like a level, and then I get hit by one literally while I'm saying that. Embarrassing. But they seem like a level lower than, in difficulty, than whatever you're playing on.
I mean, the only really bad part about the shield that's annoying is like every time an angel would hit it,
Yeah.
like, zoom in and be like, no, check this out, don't let this happen.
And then it zooms back to you and you're like, oh, I'm being hit.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like.
Are you okay, little one? That was badass! Yay!
Was I just singing? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down, little one. I am not your mother.
But, Mummy...
Will you quit calling me Mummy?
Okay, but why are you wearing a tutu, though?
If there's 2 things I hate in this world, it's cockroaches and crying babies.
Bayonetta is Volcel.
Cockroach would be truly terrible. So don't you dare cry.
Bayonetta is child-free hardcore, and that's why she's the greatest video game character of our generation.
You've got to be a strong little one to survive in a place like this. What's your name, anyway?
Cereza.
Cereza? You're not from Vigrid, are you, little one? Where are you from?
I'm from my house.
Well now, I'll hazard a guess this isn't your home. So what on earth are you doing here?
My daddy told me to come here.
And whereabouts is this daddy of yours?
He was at work, but now I don't know where he's gone. I want to go home.
I can't just drag you along wherever I go, little one. So you better not be getting attached to me.
Yes, Mummy?
I really do not like this subplot, I'm gonna be honest.
But that's all.
It is a little bit too much goofy antics that aren't actually
There'll be no
funny to me.
But Mummy, why are your legs so long? I don't understand.
Got it?
Okay, Mummy.
Bayonetta's a badass witch hunter, but she has to deal with a child?
Exactly!
I didn't necessarily mind it, but yeah, I was not on fire for this conceit either. Although it's neat watching you play, you play it for your skill, right? But it's also neat to watch it again, because like in the cutscenes, I'm seeing little dialogue stuff, having played through the game, of like, oh, that makes way more sense.
Yes.
Much more sense now.
So the gimmick here
Like
is
what
that...
Cereza was saying there. Anyways, go ahead.
Sorry, I need to explain this before this part is literally over, because this is actually kind of a neat gimmick part. So the gimmick here is that we're, because we're with Cereza, we need to stay in the real world, which means we can't hit these angels directly. In fact, I think if I try, just nothing happens. I just go through them. But, since physical objects, and this isn't stated to you, you just have to figure it out. Since physical objects exist in both worlds, you can still hit them with physical objects. Like throwing a dumpster at them. Or picking up this lamppost. In case you were wondering why you couldn't. It's not explained, you just have to figure out that you can do that, but...
You know what? I think I just threw stuff at them, like the dumpsters with the wicked wheat with Madame Butterfly's hand. I don't remember if I even figured out you could pick up lampposts. That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, a lightning strikes that lamppost so that it falls down so you can pick it up. Right at the
Maybe I
start
did
of this.
then.
A highway connecting the major areas is under construction. That's foreshadowing, I guess. I feel like they're like, okay, someone's not gonna know you can break down a gate by now, so we need to still put a description on it.
What if you rented the game from Blockbuster and it was on the save? Wouldn't you be glad then that it's right there?
So for this bit, this guy is constantly chasing after us down this hallway, and we need to help Cereza, oh shoot. I'm gonna get hit. Oh, almost did. We need to constantly throw things, or hit him. We can hit him with the pole directly, but it's faster just to throw the poles. Oops, that did hit the wall.
Okay, so the story thing of Cereza and the situation, I wasn't that enthused about it, but I didn't necessarily mind. This section, I think, might be my least favorite section of the game.
Really? I like this part a lot. This part's fun to me.
I didn't mind doing this.
This was the first time playing through where I was like, I'm actually not quite sure what I do here, and it took me like a bunch of tries to figure out.
I can
like,
see that, actually.
What I had to do. Like, it was the first time where I was just, it wasn't like the difficulty of the game or like my skill, it was just like, okay, game, what do you want me to do? I don't know what you want me to do.
On replays, it's still pretty fun, and you actually still need to play it well, because you'll notice I only got a gold for combo, because I didn't hit the guy enough times quickly enough. But, I do like how he just kind of gets stuck there. But,
that is good.
But yeah, I think on the first time through, like, you kind of have to know, and if you don't, then it would be kind of confusing, I think.
I think I figured it out just on accident, like, very quickly. I was just like, oh shit! Just picked up a thing and threw it out. I was like, oh, okay.
I think one of these has an angel bullet. Yep. I don't remember if that was originally a witch heart, or if that was always, bullets for the angel thing. You can totally just run over here immediately and leave Cereza behind, but she ends up following you.
I think I did that, actually, first time.
I don't even mind the interaction because it's at least like, oh, it's an interesting character interaction. I think a lesser game would have done the anime joke thing where it's like, I'm a kid! Now don't mention that you're a kid, I hate that! Now, and they would just go back and forth like that over and over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like a hint of that, but it only happens once, thankfully. So now we're in Paradiso. And, We wanted to protect the child, so we went through the big glowing portal to the place where everything wants to kill us.
Where was I?
Bandit is not responsible.
Your kind invitation? I do hope you've prepared dessert as well.
I actually don't mind Cereza later on. It's really just for the next couple levels where she's like next to you and constantly talking, like saying mummy every third word. It's just a bit much. And once that's over, I actually think she's a good character again. I really like when she's like... Well, later she'll spend time with Luca. I guess that's a spoiler, but whatever.
Yeah, her interactions with Luca are pretty great.
Really good, actually.
Yeah, that's my favorite parts with Cereza.
And I do kind of like Bayonetta is like, I'm gonna teach Cereza how to kill angels. Like, check this out. Look how cool it is.
Yeah.
That's sort of fun.
But yeah, I just picture like...
Nice. Sorry, keep going.
No, I just picture like Bayonetta talking to Luca later. Luca's like, why did you take her to Paradiso? All of the angels want to kill her. What is wrong with you? And then it just cuts to Bayonetta and like zooms in on her head and like on her brain, and Mysterious Destiny is just playing on loop.
Oh, I'm out of range. I don't know if I've stated it already, but the torture attacks have two things. One is they're a great way to take off a bunch of health off a difficult enemy if you want to play that way. But once you're more doing that is really bad for your combo score, and if you use a bunch of torture attacks, you'll like get a bad combo score and you won't platinum. Whoa.
There's a
Did
good
I
chance
dodge
you'll
it?
see it. Mental's fast.
Yeah. So for an experienced player, it's got two things. One is, it's kind of handy if there's a bunch of attacks flying everywhere, like one of Joy's feathers. You can just torture attack as a panic button and avoid them all. But also, when an enemy is really low health, you can still use it and get full point value for it, so it's a really great way to milk their last bit of health for more combo score. And a stylish finish, too, as long as we're at it. Oh no, he broke free because we walked over.
Now this is the part I really don't like.
Yeah, no, I'm super not into this. This is one of the 3 things I'm like, this is not great. I like to view it like he thinks she's cute rather than he falls in love with her, because one of those is really gross.
Yeah, that's how I read it.
I wanted to read it that way, and I think that could even be, like, not just my interpretation, but legitimately what we're supposed to see. But it also kind of looks like he falls in love with her, and that's weird and bad, and I don't appreciate it. Why is he punching the ground? I'm not there. That's very strange behavior.
I mean, they're like weird statue meat homunculuses. It wasn't even my thought to ascribe any of that to them, so.
Yeah, no, I kind of read it both ways at once my first time through, and I'm playing it, I really think maybe we're supposed to view it like... I mean, he sort of picks her up and wears her like a tchotchke. I think we're kind of supposed to see it like he'd use her like a cute pet or something.
Yeah, that's
true. I guess it could be sort of like the snowman from Looney Tunes. Gonna hug him and pet him.
Oh yeah,
the George.
Yeti or whatever it was. Yeah.
Mr. Abominable.
Mr. Abominable, that's right.
But it does also, this bit is like, oh, he's reaching out in love to her, and that's not so great.
I don't know, just so much of the angel stuff like that is played for laughs. It didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, it doesn't go to, it comes across more as a joke that doesn't quite work to me than anything. I mean, I played No More Heroes 2 on stream, so, like, I'm willing to put up with a lot of bullshit. I didn't quite do it right. If you do this very quickly in Panther mode, you can get ahead of all the, of basically everything that she shoots at you here. The fake Bayonetta. Fake-onetta. No.
Fake Phonetta.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Bayonetta.
There it is. Oh, she nodded at me. She must be the real one.
One of us is wearing a hat.
Yeah, that's sort of a giveaway, I guess, on the New Game Plus. Bogoff.
I love that.
So
I love
good.
that Bayonetta. Yeah, I love that Bayonetta's first reaction to seeing, oh, I've got an angel doppelganger. Better have a dance off.
Yes, and I also love that Paradiso has built-in spotlights and confetti shooters.
Yes.
It's heaven, dude.
But what I like about it is like it's obvious that that's like an angel fake of Bayonetta. So like Bayonetta just doing the dance off is like not even to like dispel the. I just think it's like Bayonetta's like, oh, you think you can be me? Well, here. Like there's like not even a purpose to it, but she's just gonna do it anyway.
Yes.
That's what I love.
I'm not gonna let you out Vogue me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
finally,
right.
I really think it's like finally someone who will Vogue with me.
Sean never vogues with me. She just tries to kill me.
Oh man, that potato has the best comparison here. It's like a sexy version of the part of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie where Michelangelo does a nunchuck competition with a foot ninja.
That's already the sexy version.
So this is Joy. We've already fought a bunch of Joys, but I guess I could introduce them now. They use a version of your whip, your pistols, and your sword that they switch between. And they're very fast, they dodge a lot. I've talked a lot about them already.
They're pretty.
They did have one ability.
Torture attack, though.
Yep. Well, that torture... did I mention about that torture attack? It's special features, quote unquote. Maybe I didn't. Okay, so... I don't have enough magic to use it, I guess, because I just use up all my magic. Whoops. But if you use it on a Joy that's at full health, it will zoom in on her breasts right before you do the torture bit, which I think is... I think it's a bit much.
I don't know, in a way, I think it's kind of funny.
It's funny, but the thing that makes me think it's a bit much is that if you damage the Joy more, so that she, like, is all, like, her skin is all fallen off and she looks like a gross meat angel, instead of, like, a beautiful, perfect angel, then it doesn't zoom in on her breasts.
That is a problem.
That's a problem to me, because A, it means, like, A, that would be a very funny joke. But B, it's also like, oh, if you don't zoom in on her breasts when they're not, like, super hot titties, then you want me to jerk off to them, probably. Someone, at some point in the process of this game, wanted me to jerk off to them.
I don't know, I think it's... The thing that makes me think it's funny is that it's the one and only time there's boob jiggle physics in the whole game. Because as much as a sex witch... As much of a sex witch as Bayonetta is, she does not have titty jiggle physics. But the Joys do, and it's just funny looking. So...
Shows how seriously they take their religion around here. This is a plot-relevant statue, folks.
Man, I wish that was the description. This is a plot-relevant statue, folks.
Mummy? You're a mom? You?
Wow.
Come
Luca.
now, Cheshire. Look at me. Do I look like I have any interest in children? Now making them, well, that's another story.
You heard it here, folks. Bayonetta doesn't want you to use
Whoa.
protection.
You're getting the wrong idea. I mean, it might be the right idea, but not right now, right? Yeah, speaking of right, I'm glad I've been standing around waiting for you, because I knew we'd cross paths.
God, Luca. Such a fucking idiot.
Because, like, I know you killed my dad, but I guess I'd be open to having sex with you.
I'm not, like, against... Look, we'll talk about it later. I'm just like...
I mean, he's not made of stone, and it's Bayonetta. I mean, I don't blame him, but come on.
The island.
There's a really good Luca and Bayonetta moment in the future. Oh, thanks for that.
Oh, now what?
Don't play games with me. You've worked your magic on this poor defenseless child, haven't you? You're a sad, sick woman. You know that? I was her age when you killed my father. Wait. No. You couldn't. Oh my God, you did, didn't you? You killed her parents!
Luca's a good reporter.
Come to think of it, she's better off with you. You two are more hassle than you're worth.
What?
Just keep a good eye on her, or you're going to catch hell for it. No good deed goes unpunished, and you never know when a monster may sneak up on you.
Mummy, look out!
Oh no, a big wind.
Mummy, no!
What is he latching onto? He's just Spider-Manning it, I guess.
Oh yeah. Because he's still superhuman compared to a regular.
It's like in that one Spider-Man PS2 game where it's just like you could just put webs anywhere. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
So, I'm gonna do one more level because it's a boss level. And then I think I might show off a few bonus things real quick.
Yay, bonus. Also, I like how Cereza is always just like... she was kind of bothered by the angels at first, but now it's just like, oh, you killed this poor girl's dad, didn't you? Oh, all these angels are exploding all over. Cereza, she's just happy to be here.
Yeah.
I don't really mind that much.
Yeah.
This strange man picks her up and accuses what she thinks is her mom of killing her parents, and she's just like, yeah, take her. And she's like, hey mom, come back. That's about it.
Yeah.
She just doesn't really ask questions.
Well, I don't mind her in general as a character. I did get really tired of hearing "Mommy."
Mm-hmm.
Again, reuse, it's important in your video game. Also, I always like little kitty cat paws.
I almost skipped that cutscene.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Good.
Good job.
Temperentia.
I'm just so used to mashing that fucking shortcut for skipping.
If you'd skipped this cutscene, it would have killed you.
I mean, I could have restarted this level.
That's true. Such a good cutscene. It's like Bayonetta.gif.
Yes, it's great.
I feel like a fucking celebrity in this town. See that? Everyone rushes at me like crazed fans. They still haven't figured out that I don't give autographs.
I was like, I'll listen to this for a while, I guess. I don't know. Well, there's their...
I'm not much for the talkative
That's the bad
types.
guy's plan.
How
Revive the
about
creator
we
of
have a little fun
all everything and reunify
Plan on having fun with
the
you
human
both.
world and
There'll
paradise
be
and
plenty of time for
and
pillow
the
talk
inferno.
The Inferno.
Yeah. Like literally, the angels talk all high and mighty and reveal their plans and shit, but like you can just fucking ignore it, and I think that's so good. I'm not going to use these, I think, because it's cheesy, but...
Also, something worth noting, or I guess, probably, if I brought this up before the cutscene, people would have probably noticed it, but one of Kamiya's orders in this game was that you never actually see Bayonetta without her glasses on.
Oh!
She,
I did
so
notice, but I didn't notice.
Yeah, she takes them off during the cutscene, but you don't actually see her face with them off.
Mhm.
You see it from like the different perspective of her glasses and the side of her face and stuff. But yeah, he said, no, you can never see her without her glasses on. She can take off every other article of clothing, not the glasses. He says he likes the glasses because it makes her look mysterious. It's like, alright.
Anyways, the basic of this fight, which I'll probably talk about before it's over, he shoots a lot of projectiles at you all the time. And then once you do enough damage, you go into this phase where you run around on his body. Hey, it's just like the Savior fight! It's literally the Savior fight. Of all the boss fights, this is the Savior fight.
Savior, but better. And it's not even the final boss.
Like, literally all of the like, big angel boss fights are the Savior but better, but this one is more than any of them, the Savior but better.
Angels allowed sparingly.
Like, you're literally jumping around on platforms. It's so clear to me when playing this fight that Kamiya played Devil May Cry 4 and was like, this fight sucks. Like, what are you doing?
And do like this hands, pull, I don't like it. Pull my arm off.
See, what demon is one that's just a bunch of hands? I think isn't it Hecatoncheirus, maybe? I forget which one.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. I can look it up right now, actually. I'm just gonna stop the fight and look in the middle of...
Yeah, please do. But yeah, it's
Yes.
funny because I was actually able to remember a lot of the hair demons' names, because they hold. There's a lot of overlap between them and the demons in Persona games. Persona and the ones referenced in Persona and SMT games. So, fun fact about me, I guess.
One of these games has Dick Demon, the other doesn't. Can you guess which one?
If you don't actually know, that's actually hard.
Oh, am I not gonna get the special feature? Oh, I'm not, because I'm on... Okay, so now we're in the final phase of Runner's Body. Something we missed is that sometimes he'll do an attack where you'll have to jump from platform to platform, like, to get away from some attacks. But if you jump far enough away, you can find a bus and chuck it at his face. But he never did that attack. I killed him too fast. Oh, those little blue things always hit me. They're very hard to dodge once they get going. With certain combinations of weapons and the right combos, you can kill that thing in like your first combos, but I'm not doing it right. And instead I'm getting destroyed. So you need to kill each one of these, which breaks off another part of its thing. Each difficulty level has more of these little energy things you need to... Ow, damn, he threw it. I've never had one of those actually hit me. He threw a shipping container at me. Anyways, once you break them all off, his whole body falls... That was all powering the shield on his head, which now breaks free, and now we go to the final phase. One thing I really like about Bayonetta that is very deliberate, Kamiya wants you to feel like you start out at a huge disadvantage, and like you gradually work your way to an advantage. So every boss has a phase where they're like at the end of their rope, and you can still fight them, and you still have to fight them. I'm parrying everything, by the way, which reflects projectiles. This guy's so fun to parry. Here we go. He has a goofy grab there where he extrudes a bunch of gross shit from his mouth and grabs you. Anyways, the final phase, like, you still need to fight them, and it's still difficult, but it's way easier. And so you feel like you're gradually overcoming and ripping apart these demons, or these angels, rather. And then, like, you do have that feeling of, like, their last grasp. God, I love how his face goes all cartoony and flat.
Yes.
All done? Well, let me give you back your toy then.
Oh no, Dougie.
It's been a while since I've seen this. I like the... It's so good!
Fucking goofy.
I love it so much.
She shoots the baby statue in its dick and then it cries out gasoline.
No, and then you see it. I think it actually turns to a frowning face when it's like flying at the camera.
And I didn't make any time for pillow talk.
This guy's just slinking away. He's my favorite.
He doesn't want none of this.
Yeah, I love this bit with the squish.
Crunch.
I love that bit with the dog angel, whatever it's called.
I really like that when Bayonetta sighs, when the gasoline bit doesn't work, you can also hear the angel go, huh. You can hear Temperantina go like, oh, I thought I was supposed to blow up. It's weird. So, those are all the new levels I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna show off a couple of... Oh, first I'm gonna show off a new weapon. And then I'm gonna show off a bunch of goofy shit you can do.
Yay, goofy shit.
Goofy shit. Including the
And
way
once-
that you can get 1,000,000 halos and unlock everything.
Good, because maybe I can finally do the the thing that you get.
But I'm not gonna do it on this level, because that's a pretty different level. Let's see, let's go to, This one? This one, yes. So we're going back to chapter 2. Wait, is this correct? Is chapter 3 Burning Grounds? Okay, I guess I gotta fight John first. I'll just blast through this shit. I did get hit once, dang.
You loser.
I'm such a failure. I'm sorry, folks. Stream over.
could
I
you?
failed.
Game over. Shut it down.
Oh yeah, this is the place. Okay. Oh, I get a second chance at doing some of these cool combos. Whoa, nice snipe with the projectile.
Bringing his A game. The A stands for angle.
I'm trying to do fun things over here. I need to kill this man if I'm gonna do fun things like that. Whoa, I did not mean to hit the button, and I fell. Here we go. We'll just jug you out above the chasm here. Whoop! Can I make it? Can I make it? I made it! So part of what I'm showing here is that you can blast through a level very quickly if you feel like it. But that's mostly because part of the thing I want to show is at the end of the level. But I'm going to get to the town square first and then show off a new weapon. Oh, I should have done it right there. I'll kill these dudes first. Oh, you didn't actually hit me, so I couldn't parry you. That's so rude. Oh, a fun thing is that you actually use some of the angel weapons faster in Witch Time. I don't think this is so much like, like a benefit of Witch Time. I think it's more that a lot of angel weapons take a while to start using, and they wanted you to be able to use them in Witch Time, so they just sort of suddenly up their speed of use. Which I think is a clever way to fix that problem. Like the bow in particular, you shoot really fast since it takes a while to take out. And to get into Witch Time you have to have dodged, which means you don't have the bow out. Oh, I thought there was a dude I was aiming at, but they were all dead apparently. Okay.
That's the worst thing to happen to Bayonetta.
I thought there were more angels to kill. So I'm going to show off the Durga, which is the last normal weapon. Every other weapon that I haven't showed off is like a bonus weapon you get for beating the game or something else. I don't know why I'm putting it on all things. Here, let's do this. Because I want to show this off in a bit. So the Durga are fire or lightning claws. Their special bullet climax spin around move is actually switching between the two. It's a spin attack that also switches you between fire and lightning. Lightning is pretty is like relatively similar to the pistol in terms of moveset. Their charge modifier is that if you hold the button, you'll charge up and let out a big burst of electricity. But I think the further the combo has gone for, the bigger that electricity will be, and the more damage it'll do. But it doesn't... You notice each one of these gets a little bit bigger and does a little bit more damage. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it does matter. So it's still encouraging you to like go to the end of the combo. They do a lot of damage and stun pretty well, but it's not... Their charge modifier isn't great. The main advantage of the Lightning Durga is that, frankly, they're just very, very fast. They've got a really great uppercut that's like super fast. They've got a pretty good dash in. Most of their other moves are pretty normal. They've actually got kind of a bad breakdance because they don't have much range. But the main advantage of Lightning Durga is that they're very fast. I never put them on my feet, but I sometimes put them on my hands. Oh, if you equip Durga to both hands and feet, then the end of the punch-punch combo gets this extra bit where she also throws in a bunch of kicks. Oh, and you'll notice that the Wicked Weaves are all like claws that come out. Which is cool, I think. So yeah, Durga always produces claws. So the Lightning Durga is kind of cool, and I want to use it more, but it's probably one of my least used. What I really like, the Fire Durga is more interesting to me. So these are the other big slow power weapon. Especially when they're on hands. On hands, it's just a 3-hit punch combo. You can still go into kicks like you can with the rocket launchers, but... Do they have a unique thing too? Or is it only lightning? Lightning has that.
I don't remember.
Oh yes, there it is. I knew they had something. Fire Durga, if you wait a sec. They have this move, which I basically never use. So I kind of forgot about it. But Fire Durga's main thing is that if you hold the charge modifier, you leave a fire mine. And similar to the Lightning Durga, the further in the combo you are, the bigger the fire mine will be and the more damage it does. Which is... Like, they get very big, and they do ridiculous amounts of damage. If you want to just, like... If your goal is to beat the game, you should... And, like, you don't care about combo at all, you should figure out how to use... Just how to hit various enemies with this charge ability, because this will take off, like, half... I mean, well, I'll show you in a sec, but it just does crazy amounts of damage.
I like that your Wicked Weaves are on fire, too.
Yeah.
Fire hair.
So the weakness of the Fire Durga is, again, they have relatively limited range, and they're slow as hell. They're kind of bad to put on hands, I think. but they're really good. Fire Durga are super good to put on feet because they don't really slow down your kick moves at all. Your kicks are about as fast as they always are. The other disadvantage is that if you use too many of the charge modifiers, it's not great for your combo. So you can't, because like, they give you a decent amount of combo points, but they frankly take away. They take away more health than their combo points are worth. They also make a really good pair with the whip. I really like putting my most common like secondary layout is whip and the fire Durgas on feet, because you can set a mine and then whip someone into it by pulling them into it. There's just a lot of cool setups you can do. Yeah, let's see how much damage we can do to these dudes with like one fire mine. Oh, well, it put him into cutscene mode. Oh, you can't skip this cutscene either. Okay, let's see how much damage we can take off this dude with. So that was one kick and one fire mine is half his health. So you can and it's also got a gigantic range, so it's very good against hordes of tiny angels too. It's just very, very good. I guess it is technically the slowest ability or attack in the game, since it takes so long to charge, and if you cancel a charge partway through, you get nothing. But like, it's very powerful. The other thing that the Durga lets you do, and this is how people... Well, let me kill this lady first. You'll see people talk about this a lot when people are like, how do I beat the game on X? How do I get platinum? Whatever. There's a glitch you can do with the Durga and the rocket launchers together. I think I can't have them equipped to hands and feet, though. I can, I think. Maybe I can. I can't change while it's doing the little platinum medals. Just give me a sec here. Let's put, I don't know, pistols. So yeah, you want to have the Fire Durga, or Lightning Durga, I think it doesn't matter, on your feet. And then on your other weapon set, you want to have the rocket launchers. And I haven't done this in a while because it's basically cheating. It makes the game trivial, so I might get it wrong. But the basic premise is, you want to do any move that ends with you doing this rapid kick move where you can mash to kick a bunch of times. And then just before you do the rapid kick move, you want to switch to the rocket launchers, like as you're doing it. And it'll let you equip the rocket launchers, and you'll see that the Durga is shooting at like 1 billion kicks as fast as you can mash. Now, usually if you do this move with the rocket launchers, you get 4 rockets. But for some reason, if you specifically interrupt the Durga, you can shoot about like 40 rockets.
Rocket legs.
Oops.
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah, the timing is not even all that tight. And the really fun thing is each one of those rockets has a pretty high combo value. And the really, really fun thing is your combo points go directly into halos earned. And the really, really fun thing is, this next mini-boss where I fight the dragon in the cathedral doesn't die immediately. You can keep doing damage to him past a certain point, and he has to transition through animations before he can start taking damage again. But you still get combo points. So if I freeze time a bunch using the bracelet of time and my ability to regenerate magic with like the magic orbs, and I just keep doing this glitch, well, we'll see.
Everyone get your calculators out.
You'll notice that I'm already at 9.9 combo after one hit.
Jesus Christ. That's awesome.
Oops.
Now, Frank, I have a question.
Yep.
Do you think they overlooked this combo, or do you think they found out about this combo and Camilla was like, "That's badass, keep it in"?
They definitely knew about it for the PC release because it was kind of infamous. A lot of people don't know you can use it on this boss. Using it on this boss and cheesing the fact that this boss like has damage caps that he won't go past, in particular, is not a well-known strat. People to like farm halos. But people know about the glitch in general. So look at my combo score.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's pretty high.
That's pretty nice.
It doesn't tell you how many halos you get from that.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, so
you got pure platinum there, huh? Surprising.
But how?
so I don't remember how many I had before, but let's find out how many I have now. I kind of remember how many I had before. Oh, we have to skip past the angel attack before we can do that. Let me just do this one real quick, like. There we go. Yeah, I had 13. I know whatever I had started with 13. I don't remember the rest. Oh, I got up to... Well, that actually wasn't that many. I don't think I did that one as elegantly. If you go into that one with a full 3 magic bars, and you can just keep freezing time, then you can get way more than I got. As it is... I think I only got enough to, buy out the entire store's stock of weapons, techniques, and several items.
And then you get some walking around money, too. You can go on a cruise, plan for retirement.
But yeah, if you have enough that you can just freeze time for that whole fight, then he just won't progress at all, and you can do that. You can do that for like about 5 or 6 times as long as I did it, and I think when I did it, I've got like what? How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I've gotten like 8 million off it at one point. Like, it's very silly, and of course, completely ruins any concept of like high scores. So.
You could submit that to Twin Galaxies and start an entire angry thread about it.
Let's see. I wonder what the combo leaderboard is for Chapter 2. I'm genuinely curious. Oh man, does this even work? I've never looked at the leaderboards because there's literally no
They
point.
go off the screen.
So yeah, that is how you, since you can also, earlier I said you can stand in front of that phone and enter in button combos to get for cheat codes and it costs like 1 million halos, well, this is how you can unlock everything if you don't want to go through. Wow, I think it's literally not even up. I guess no one bothered. It wouldn't surprise me if they looked like, oh, this person has such a high combo score, it runs over into the negative. I'm just not gonna, I'm gonna take down the leaderboards. Well, it actually seems to have frozen my game, so maybe that's where I end the stream.
Yeah, that's a
good end.
Yeah, I
that's
can't.
a nice capper, actually.
Can't do anything. That's amazing. So yeah, that's the. If you ever see someone talk about the Kilgore glitch, that's what they're talking about. If you want to cheese your way through the game, oh, here we are. Wow, that's high. That is absurd. Oh wait, it does go off, because he's got 34, and the person beneath him is 44, but he's... Oh no, that's me. I'm at 279? Wait, how does this even work? I'm not at the top. I don't even know.
Where are you?
It won't let me go above me?
So it says sort your score. Is there a way to... Oh, can you hit X to sort it?
Oh.
Sort high score?
Oh, I see. Wow, it's gonna take a while.
So it looks like it was like tabulating scores near yours, maybe, or
It must have been near me, but it still put me at the top, even though I would have been at the bottom of that page, which is weird.
But yeah, that's a Wouldn't
That's
be
a very
surprised
confusing
if it like
screen.
overloads the value and just flips around to 0. It's like,
I mean, if you did that for like every fight in the level too, like you could get a lot. So yeah, Kilgore glitch is very powerful. It kills bosses immediately. Like it's very silly. It's very fun. It's fun to fuck around with. But
it
it
sounds. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
it will ruin your if you go for rankings, it will ruin your attempt at going for rankings because you'll be like, oh, I got a platinum, but I already got a platinum before when I was a god of rockets, and rockets just came out of me all the time.
One Punch Man feat.
Okay. I guess. Sure. This dude has a stone ranking, and his combo is just all 9s.
Man, that had to have been on purpose, right?
That's so good.
What a dame indeed.
What a legend.
Oh, what a day. That's amazing.
Soul Good Guy is also. There seems to be several people that did that.
This is so good, and I really like it, and I like that he put this as his save score. Like, mwah. Honestly.
That's the kind of humor you need to play this game.
That's good.
Anyways, I'm gonna call it here.
By the way, not to distract from, Stone Enzo top score here, but is he? I always thought he's saying "what a dame." Is he saying "what a day"?
Yeah, I think
he's saying "what a day," like he's having a bad day.
Oh, so I thought he was saying like "what a dame," like "oh Bayonetta, what a dame."
I don't think he'd have the balls to talk to Bayonetta like that.
That's fair, actually.
Yeah, he'd say it when she wasn't there, but
yeah.
And then she'd hear him, and she'd burst back in the room, and I'm writing fanfiction now, I guess. Oops. Did he just stop counting the combo score at some point? Because his bronze medals don't have any combo score.
Maybe that's why. Maybe he was wondering what it does to the game.
If you just do that. Ah, that's fucking great. Oh, he's probably just hacking, because he got the 999 on the John fight, and there's no way to do the Kilgore glitch in that, because you can only use pistols, since it's in the past. So this is just a hacker. Rude, honestly.
What an a-hole.
Now I don't like him.
How the mighty have fallen.
Anyway, we will do this either middle of next week, or more likely in several weeks.
Very
Either
soon
or.
or very far away.
And I will catch you all on the west side. I'm still trying that one out. I still don't like it that much, but
On the Frank side.
no, because like that's nothing. Like if I say on the west side, it's like that's Simpsons